So, I left my job today. I couldn't work for that man after what he said to me. Lee, you're fired. And last night, funny enough, last night in bed, I was pulling off my boxers, and my wife said, "You spoil those dogs." Anyway, hello everyone.
Special list.
Special set of hells. Hello everyone, and welcome to the Black Dog 130. I'm Lee.
I'm Darren.
I'm Jim.
I'm Elton.
And this week we'll be seeing how everyone's fortnight's been, because we were away for last week because of my boxy work. And then we will be getting on to see if there's any feedback, which is a little unlikely seeing as it was Moonfall. And then we'll be on to this week's movie, which is Triangle of Sadness. But before we get to that, let's find out how everyone's week's been, fortnight's been, whatever. Let's see if anyone's done anything.
Period of time.
Yeah. How has your period of time been, Jim?
Fairly quiet, really. I'm not really allowed to go out and do anything at the minute for people getting infections. So we stayed in. We've killed Nazis on the Xbox.
There you go.
We did start rewatching Fringe, actually.
Really?
Yeah, having watched The Last of Us, there's Anna Torv in it. And I happened to mention, she's in this series called Fringe, and so Teresa hadn't seen it, and so it's kind of, I'm sure we've got copies somewhere. And so we started rewatching that again.
Yep.
And very good it is too, actually. I mean, for me, having watched all of them, going back to the start and seeing kind of how early, right from the start, they start setting up the plot arcs.
Oh, yeah.
And things is kind of, this is really well put together. And but it's just the cast is just top notch. Of just, and I've really enjoyed going back to it. Obviously, like everyone, Teresa's fallen in love with Walter.
Yes. Yeah.
Walter. Do you know what? I always thought if they ever did a Vincent Price biopic, he'd be perfect for the role. That actor. There's something about him. I'm not sure what it is, but yeah.
Yeah. So, I'll be honest with you. I've never watched Fringe after the first two episodes. I think I was currently on the sort of back end of a burnout of binging on X-Files. When it came out, and there was this kind of implication that Fringe was kind of X-Files 2.0, and I was just like, I can't be doing with that, and I really wish I had, but I just maybe I should check it out.
It's definitely worth going back to. I mean, I can see why when it started, everyone said, it's like the X-Files, but once you get into it, you realise, it isn't really. There's some fundamental differences. They had an idea where the plot was going for a start.
Always a good start.
But it's just the character dynamics are so different. I mean, it is like, government agent investigating weird stuff, but you get to see the actually as people rather than just everyone in the actual is a faceless suit. I don't think you ever even see. I think you see Fox Mulder's office at home at one stage, and that's as close as they get to a personal life. You know what I mean? Whereas this is kind of the more rounded characters by far, and they just have a really good, just a good character dynamic between all the main players, how they just spark off each other. And you said there's a lot of humour in it as well, particularly from having a mad scientist who is often high as a kite and has been in an asylum.
Yeah. That'll do it. Cool.
So yeah, if you've not seen Fringe, it is definitely worth going back to. I'm really looking forward to get it. We just finished season 1 and it's that was so good. Particularly now, as I say, I've seen them all before, and it's this was planned right from the start. The proper story arc planning right from the word go. That was very satisfying. So yeah,
that's always good to have, isn't it? Story arc planning.
Makes change.
Not just busking it and making it up as you will go along.
Do you remember that planned story arcs? I remember those.
Yeah,
that was good. Those were good times. Cool. Anything else, sir? Or is
that's about it, really.
Okay, cool. Okay, well, I might well check out Fringe. Actually, I will do my damnedest to locate it.
I'll be honest. I bought both the first and second season on DVD a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
and I never made it past the pilot.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is weird because I thought Fringe would be right up my alley. But I couldn't make it past it.
Okay.
You know, Lee, if you do locate your copies of
Fringe,
of Fringe, then if you're quite apt to lending them, this way, those copies.
Of course. I am happy. I'm always happy to share my acquired DVD copies, legally purchased from a store. Yep. And give them to you directly.
Indeed. Handing them physically to my good self,
Of course.
Yes. Yep. No digital electronic handshakes at all. No, proper.
Of course not.
A proper handing of a feeling of the discs and in my hand.
Honest, Gov.
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
Can I ask the Oscar yet? Is it?
Yeah.
Just fucking BAFTA? No.
No.
I have that sitting on the toilet.
Oh, sorry.
Pardon?
Sorry, the Darren AI kicked off.
Is that my digital doppelganger?
Yeah, I'm still trying to exorcise him out of the system. He just won't. He won't go away.
Posh fish.
See, he's still there.
That obviously was one of the member of the Fish Girls, because you got posh fish, baby fish, scary fish,
and ginger fish.
Sporty fish,
spicy fish.
Indeed.
The spice fish.
That'd be goldfish, surely.
No. Follow the joke.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, sorry.
Yeah.
Follow the joke.
Yeah. You're there.
Don't break it.
Don't break it.
Oh, you're broken it now.
Oh, you're broken.
404.
Joke not found. Cool. Okay then. Well, I'll stop the AI. I won't. I'll stop that from coming back in.
Never.
Yes. Yeah, it's in there now. Your digital avatar is there forever now.
Ghost in the machine.
It is indeed. Anyway, yes, we'll stop it there. So Jim, so that's it. Fringe and Nazi killing.
That's pretty much it. Yes. Yeah.
Righty-ho. Okay, then in which case we'll move on to you then, Elton. How's your week been? Fortnight.
Pretty good. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
I have two things for you.
Mm-hmm.
One involves road rage, and one involves a computer game. So I will save the computer game after, if you don't mind. I won't go too deep into it, but road rage. So it wasn't me. It was the other guy.
It was Shaggy.
Always.
Sorry.
Yes,
What?
Shaggy came up to my window. Hear me now. What are you doing?
It wasn't me. I was pulling over in the left lane. I swerved to avoid the big train. Wasn't me.
So the police turned up and sort of took your details. My name is Shaggy.
Wasn't
Is that
me.
how many M's is that, sir? What's the M stand for?
Shaggy.
Malcolm. Yeah.
Mr. Lover.
And Mr. Bombastic racing down the sand. Reading
What
out
would
the
you do for a
outside.
living? Well, they call me Mr. Bombastic, Mr. Fantastic.
They call me Mr. Overrever. Anyway, yes. Right, go on in. So road rage with Shaggy, who it wasn't him.
Yeah, well,
Yeah. Right.
It wasn't Shaggy.
It wasn't Shaggy.
We've ascertained that now, I think. Yep.
Was it?
Shaggy is innocent. Okay, that's it. He wishes to partake no more in this conversation. Thank you.
oh dear.
Police caught me on the hard shoulder. It wasn't me. Caught me on the hard shoulder.
25 to a happy chef. When I come across this lift engineer on my left, I overtake on the inside lane, yeah.
Wasn't me.
Oh dear. It's not even worth telling the story.
No, go on.
It's really not.
No, go on. It's done now.
Is
We
this better
started.
than the story that you were going to tell? Is that what you're saying? With the made up stuff?
It's very much better.
No, go on.
I'll tell you what, if you're driving and a Shaggy record comes on the radio, you're going to
Yeah.
crash, aren't you? That'll be it.
I am, yes. Yeah, that'd be
Yes.
it. That's the end of
Sorry,
me.
and I'll shut up now. Just please.
Caught me jumping the yellow light. Wasn't me.
Give me some aspirin because my head is splitting and some wool so I can do me knitting.
Oh,
Wasn't me.
double liner.
Double liner.
Oh, double liner.
Last jumping
Can't
lights.
park my truck up to do my shopping, yeah.
Oh, double liner. The lights. Jump the lights. Oh, double liner. The lights. Jump the lights. Anyway, Elton, go on, carry on.
Oh, dear.
Oh, God.
Mm.
Oh,
Oh, it's really not worth saying now.
oh
go
come
on.
on.
Oh, always is.
Come on.
It is.
It's always worth saying. Say it, man. Say your truth.
Oh man, alive. Oh God, I wish I'd had this 2 weeks ago when it actually happened. Flipping out.
Mm.
So I was. I can't not think of Shaggy now.
I'm telling you.
I was driving away from a job.
It wasn't me.
And it wasn't Lee. It wasn't B. Arthur.
I was driving away from a job, right?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
and it was around Tilbury, around the docks, and you know,
Sorry.
I'm telling you, it's not as funny as what we've just done just there. But yeah, I was driving away, and I got to this corner, and there was like loads of like baby pigeons all over the road,
Right.
just picking ants or whatever it was. And I thought, you know what? I won't mow them down. I will slow down cautiously, but not slam my brakes on or anything like that. And someone took very much a huge offence to me doing this, not killing wildlife.
Right.
And I thought, okay. And I waited for the birds to disperse. I didn't stop or anything like that. Didn't put on my brakes. But then he took very much offence to this, drove past me. And as he drove past me, I gave him the international sign for Nescafe. Of course, why wouldn't I?
Of course.
And at which point he slammed his brakes on in front of me. I was like, oh, shit. Oh, it's happening now, isn't it?
This is a thing.
Yeah. I've really got myself into quite a pickle now, haven't I?
Don't hit me. I have a heart condition.
Yeah. Don't make me run. I'm full of chocolate. And yeah, he got out the car, and whatever happens with road rage and arguments, both parties talk at the same time. It always happens. always happens. It's like, blah, 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 blah. No one's listening to each other. But there was a couple of times where I was listening to him. He said that I was doing an emergency stop in front of him. And I was like, no, that's not right. And he's like, you only stop for dogs. You don't stop for birds or anything. I was like, you what? You want me to mow these things down? And there was points where I was pushing it a bit, and he was chatting away, and I was going, shh, shh, shh. I put my fingers on my lips. I was, shh, shh, shh. And then I realised I shouldn't be doing this.
No,
I shouldn't be doing it. But he didn't do anything about it. So, but he was having to go, oh, read your highway code. You don't slow down for birds. You just plough through them. It's like, no, I don't think you do, mate.
Did you ever run in with Shaw Taylor or something like that? Is that what it was?
One of the Sweeney.
It was that, was it Pickering? Pickering guy?
Do you know who I am? Do you know who I am?
Yeah.
No, I'm Ronnie Pickering.
Who the fuck's
That's
Ron
it,
Pickering?
Ronnie Pickering, yeah.
Yep.
Who the fuck's Ron Pickering? I am.
But yeah, he started having to go about me doing an emergency stop in front of him, even though when I did the international sign for Nescafe, he did the old emergency stop in front of me, and having to go at me doing the highway code and stuff like that. Then he pulled off. We drove off. I was right. You know what I mean? Jeez, man, come on.
Okay, sorry.
We were driving off.
Wasn't me.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
Go on, carry on.
So when you said doing the highway code, I just heard Lambeth Walk, but with doing the highway code.
Oi! Sorry, carry on, Elton. Yeah.
Oh, do you know what? I'm bailing on this story. That's it. No, that's it. No, I can't live up to it.
Invested now.
No.
So you gave him the sign. He brake checked you. Go on.
Then he broke like 4 rules in front of me. It's like he's having to go at me about the highway code, and he did the same thing. I think I totted them up as he was driving along because I'm such a dick. He's like, oh, you didn't indicate there, Mr. BMW driver. Oh, you didn't indicate there, Mr. BMW driver. And as he pulled out, he undertook 2 trucks as well. I was like, oh, look at you doing that as well, you twat.
Yeah.
He was a BMW driver.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah? Okay.
I think it says it all.
Explains everything. It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just lost all our BMW drivers listening at the moment.
Yep.
Screw them losers.
Yeah, that's right.
Wasn't me.
Yeah, so it was going around my head, as every argument does with me.
Oh, yeah.
You think about it far too much for the next day or two, and you wake up in the middle of the night going, I should have fucking said that. I should have said that. But no, it's always too late, isn't it?
Yeah. And that's the worst bit. Worse than anything else. It's that whole thing of just you winding yourself up.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the worst bit.
But I even checked it. I checked it on the internet. Am I allowed to mow down birds? No, I'm not allowed to mow down birds.
I love that. Yeah. So my first thought wasn't to just stop safely or anything like that. It was to actually work out whether or not I could actually mow down birds.
What? I didn't think I was doing anything wrong. I thought I was being quite nice in not running birds over.
Well, yeah. I think that's...
You were.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, that's fair play.
Yeah.
And then I had to double check on the internet. Should I have stopped or should I have just gone through? No, it turns out I was correct. I shouldn't mow them down and kill innocent life.
No.
Well, no. And that's the whole point of an emergency stop, isn't it?
I didn't emergency... Don't you start on me. I did an emergency stop.
Sorry, Elton.
Wasn't me.
No, I was going to say, if you had to do an emergency stop, that would have been perfectly legitimate because that's the whole point. Because if you had hit that bird or birds and they'd gone everywhere, spluttering feathers everywhere and blood and gore and beaks and eggs and everything, you would have had this situation where it would have been a hazard to everyone on the road and around you.
Yeah, it turns out I'm quite mouthy in arguments. I do not know how I didn't get my mouth punched. Because when he said you emergency stopped from 30 miles an hour to 10 miles an hour, I was like, well, technically that's not a stop, is it?
No,
But-
he's still going.
You
Yes.
just slowed down. That's it.
Yeah, to stop is to have a complete absence of movement.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You stop.
yeah, as in no longer moving. As
See,
in,
I wish you'd had a
stop.
dictionary or a thesaurus with you. You could have looked out right in front of him. It says here, right?
Yes.
Okay, and I'm actually quoting from text. You see, because I've got the thing I'm quoting from. I don't see you with a fucking highway code manual in your fucking hand, Ronnie fucking Pickering. My name is Shaggy.
Yeah, exactly.
There's got to be a song with like him reciting the stopping distances, isn't there?
Yeah. 70 miles an hour equals 230 yards.
Suddenly he turned into George Melly for some
I was going to
reason.
say,
Don't know
I was
why.
going to say, he started to sound like Chef from bloody South Park. Stopping distance at 70 miles. It's 230 yards.
Oh dear. Yeah, well that was that, and I caved in and bought a video game for the PlayStation 4.
Okay.
What did you buy?
I bought The Long Dark,
Oh.
and
Very nice.
oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
So fucking good.
Because you sent me a message asking whether or not I'd played it, and I didn't.
No,
So-
I that was for like another game. 7 Days to Die, I think it was.
Oh, yes, 7 Days to Die,
Yeah.
sorry, yeah.
But
Okay.
yeah, it keeps killing me, and I hate it for it, but I also love it in exactly the same terms.
Yeah.
It's so good. Yeah, it's not one for people who like shooters or anything like that. I haven't hit a single thing with the rifle yet. Honestly, I fight
Tough.
about
It is tough.
You think, oh yeah, I can just shoot that deer. Ding! What the fuck happened there?
No, it's a bit like real guns.
Yeah.
You find out, actually, I can't fire this for shit.
Yeah. And I did play it on a couple of hard levels, and I ended up getting cornered by wolves and mauled by wolves. And then I stepped out my house on the next game. I was like, oh, everything should be fine. Oh my God, there's a bear in my face, ripping myself to shreds. And it's just glorious when you get torn to shreds on that. It's brilliant.
Oh, right, okay.
It's so good. And you're like, okay, what the fuck do I do now? I'm bleeding out. I got to hobble and do stuff. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to die in a horrible death, aren't I? Oh, look, there we go. I have died.
Nice.
But if anyone can play that, do play it. It's so good.
Nice. Okay.
And that's it.
Okay. And that's called The Long Dark.
The Long Dark,
Yes.
yes.
Good game. Very good.
I've never played it. So is it... Can I just ask one question? Is it a survival thing, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's survival and item management game. And I have this like OCD thing when you play a game like the Lego games that we've all played, where you have to break every single block. This game actively encourages you to check every single nook and cranny of a room, of every single cupboard, of every single underneath every shelf, because there might be like a revolver ammunition bullet there.
I think it's random as well. Every time you play it, it just mixes it up. So no two games are the same.
Right.
So it's pretty much, you got to watch your temperature.
Your temperature?
Sort of thing. Yeah, you got to make sure you keep warm. You got to find water. You got to find food.
Find antibiotics.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anything like
Oh
that.
my God,
You got to
really?
watch that you don't get food poisoning and stuff like this. It's all pretty much full on.
You can get parasites as well.
This just sounds like sort of the Bear Grylls simulator.
Standard weekend in Bromley.
Yeah. Once I've been to McDonald's, I need to check myself for parasites, my temperature.
No, it's once you've had the burger from the van outside Bieber's.
Oh God,
Yes.
that's
That's
it.
not
Did
a
I get
euphemism.
parasites? Yeah.
Yeah, boil your water as well.
That's it. Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. Oh right, okay, and that was on PlayStation.
It's on everything. It's on Steam. It's on Xbox. It's on PlayStation. It's everywhere.
on Apple Watch.
Probably. Yeah.
Game Boy, ZX81,
Commodore.
Race,
Vectrex.
Vectrex, yeah.
Atari Jaguar.
Atari VCS, Pocket Calculator.
Tommy Invaders as well. It's like a secret game on there.
Oh God. Yeah,
Astro Wars.
All them Tommy games where you had to put them up to your eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Oh man, I love those ones.
Oh God.
I think we have the car one.
Oh
Yeah,
God.
Yeah.
Oh God. I'm gonna have to Google that up. Sorry.
they were good. They were so good. But yeah, it's available on them as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the Tommytronic 3D Sky Attack.
Yes.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Tommytronics.
There were three. There were three of them. There was one about a tank, one
That's
about
right.
a car,
Yep.
and there was I'm not sure what the third one was about.
It was called Sky Attack.
Sky Attack. Okay.
Yeah, which is because they had a light space in the top, didn't they? So the light could come
that's
through
right,
the top.
yeah.
Oh my God. 4 old men suddenly become wistful for retro gaming. I mean,
Yeah.
how old was that? I mean, those Jesus
Right,
Christ.
what,
82.
83, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, you can buy one. You can buy the Thundering Turbo on Amazon on sell through. Yeah.
Now, is that the box or is that the game?
Well, let's put it this way. If I'm looking at it, I'm looking at it from a research point of view, as opposed to someone off of some random shonky fucking website podcast telling me to go and look at this link.
In the words of Shaggy, it wasn't me.
What was that, Shaggy? Wasn't me. Oh right, okay, fair enough. Yeah, no, 139 quid. And if you still got one of them,
What?
yeah. Fucking 139 quid for a game that was Oh, that's the one I had, the blue one, Planet Xeon. That's the one.
Ah, right. Okay.
Because they were different colours. They were
price.
they were different colours. They were different colours for different games.
Yeah,
Right.
my friend had the white one.
Blue.
Yeah, I had the dark blue one. Blimey. Retro games. Anyway, retro gaming. Gotta love it. Anyway, cool. So
That was my week anyway.
that was your week.
Yeah.
That was your week. Avoiding birds, being Shaggy.
It sounds like code, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The long dark.
And yeah. birds, Shaggy, long dark. Yeah, that is definitely a euphemism. That is.
Type that into Google.
Type that into type that into ChatGPT and see what sort of kind of script it gives you. Anyway, all right then. Well, I think now it's time for Darren. Darren, you've been away for now 4 weeks.
Yeah, I have. Yes,
So how was your period of time away from
the
this
world
fine
has turned.
podcast? Go on
The
in.
world has turned, sir. Bear with me a minute. I'm just going to put myself on mute while I adjust the microphone so I can get comfortable. Okay, one second.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, why
I
he
had
does that?
sitting on the toilet. No longer with us.
Why he does that? I'm going to stoke the fire.
Go on. You're going to stoke the fire? Okay.
Just get relaxed.
Okay.
Bring the lights down low.
Bring the lights down low. I think before we actually proceed, I know I asked you to get a certain piece of music ready, but
Okay.
I think you need the "Wish You Were Here" music. For Judith Chalmers for the first bit.
Oh, God.
If you've got that, if you haven't,
I haven't.
Oh, you haven't. Oh, that's
Oh, for God's sakes. Live
What's that?
production, man. Live
What's that
production.
golf program? No, what's the fucking what's that?
The girl from
Golf?
Yeah,
Ipanema.
there was a golf program they used to show on BBC with a real easy listening tune at the beginning. It was, I don't know, playing the fucking clarinet or some shit like that. I don't know. Whatever.
Oh, hold on a sec. Just talk amongst yourselves. I'm just going to have to do
You're
this.
going to go, aren't you? You can't resist it. You
I
just
can't.
got to do it, ain't you?
Hold on,
You've gotta do
holiday
it now.
program.
The holiday program with
this
Judith Chalmers.
This is
Hello.
the kind.
My name's Judith Chalmers. And this week, I fucked off to Rhodes. Jesus fucking H. Christ. I tell you.
It was fucking lovely, but it's full of fucking foreigners.
Yeah. You have no idea. The food was shit. Fucking.
I fucking jelly belly for most of it.
I spent most of the afternoon on the shitter.
Yeah.
Don't drink the water. Don't drink the water. That's my advice. Judith Chalmers, rough as badgers.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Is that heavy
Remember,
metal
if you get
album
ice in
that
your
she,
drinks, it will give you the shits.
Is that Judith Chalmers, Rough as Badgers? Is that the death metal album that she once reportedly released, but only sold about 3 copies?
Oh yeah,
No,
yeah.
you're thinking of Pooh Bum Wank and a picture of the devil.
Oh god. Pooh Bum Wank. Of course. Okay. Right. Okay, I'm going to have to put this volume right down. So here we go. You've requested it. Here we go.
Excellent. Oh, yes. Gordon Giltrap, if I remember rightly. Yes,
I was best friends with his son, Jamie, until I left primary school.
Were you?
Oh,
there's
yeah.
your claim to fame. Excellent
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, Gordon fucked off around about 3rd year in primary school, but there you go.
He went, that was it. He's like, no, I'm going to have a successful music career based around one tune. Here we
Yes.
go. That's me. I'm done. So anyway, what I did with my 2 weeks away, or to say 4 weeks away. Well, first of all, I went on holiday
Yes, you did.
by accident. Yes, I buggered off to Rhodes. Me, Rhea, and Maria, we all
Yep.
went across the seas.
Yep.
Fortunately, we went just before apparently the major tourist season begins.
Right.
So fortunately, there were very little in the way of British people there, which is good. We always enjoy that. But had a fantastic time there. Weather was really good as well. We heard it was going to be absolutely fucking atrocious, and the weather in Britain was going to be brilliant. But no, it was every single day was. I think we had rain for about half an hour one day, and that was it.
Right.
But yeah, place absolutely fucking. Never been to Rhodes before, ever. So
One of the X-Men has.
really?
Rhodes. Where we're going, we don't. No, sorry.
No.
I was
not
going to
that
say
one.
Colossus, but there you go.
So colour, yeah. Mm.
Yeah, never mind.
Yeah, I get it now. Yes, I've been there. It says I'll be like, what is he talking about? But no, I understand that.
Thank
We've got a fridge magnet, I think, with him on it now. We collect fridge magnets.
You must come to Rhodes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh no! It's a blue vase. There's a fridge magnet with come to Rhodes.
Vase.
Vase
Yeah.
or vase.
Vase, whatever. I don't know. Whatever.
Gee.
Go-
Right, come on.
It's
go on,
vase. It's definitely vase.
Yeah, it's definitely
It's not
vase.
vase.
Yeah. Well, anyway, yes. So, went, had a thoroughly good time, felt well rested. It's the first holiday we've had in 5 years, right? So,
Right.
first proper holiday. So, we've all been kind of looking forward to it, all feeling a bit frayed before we went. And, yeah, this kind of got us all back on track. So, by the
Okay.
end of it, didn't want to leave. We only went there for 7 days, but had a really, really good time. Saw the sights, went out, did this, went Old Rhodes, which is
Yeah?
was
Lots
it,
of potholes.
lots of potholes. Yeah, it was like a big city with a great big fucking wall around it as well. So sea defences and God knows what else. So
Right.
yes, lots of history, lots of good food. So yeah, thoroughly enjoyed that. Got back to England, thoroughly
Right.
relaxed. Had a couple of days before going back to work.
Right.
Thought, this is great. We'll just relax and seed into this.
Yes.
And then we were sitting there on Thursday morning. We thought, you know what we'll do? we'll just, I don't know, maybe we'll go for a walk later. You know, we'll just take it easy.
Yeah.
So we sat there, watching TV in the morning, relaxing into it, when all of a sudden, the electricity went off.
Oh, this is War of the Worlds. I remember this bit.
Yeah. Suddenly, David's contract ceased. School blimey struck like that.
Brave new world, click.
No one would have believed. So, all the TV goes off, everything, right?
Yeah.
So, oh, shit, it's been a power cut. So I go to the passageway, and no, everybody's got power still. I can hear TVs and all that going on. So it's like, all right, well, let's check the fuses. Go to the fuse box. Everything's looking fine, right? Nothing's tripped. No, nothing.
Right.
And I think to myself, well, it can't be me because I've got like about 40 quid on the prepay meter. But I'll go and check it anyway. So I go up to the meter, and the meter is completely blank. It's flashing at me.
Right.
And it's like, what the fuck is going on here? So I phoned British Gas. Yeah, I'm going to name them. I phoned them, and I find out that somebody has phoned them up and said that they were moving into our flat. And so what British Gas did, they didn't bother to send me a text message or a phone call or an email or anything to say, are you leaving your flat? Are you leaving us? Have you gone? No, nothing like that at all. They just went, yes, we believe your bullshit completely, and they cut us off. Right? They they cancelled our account and everything.
Right.
So, how the fuck does somebody do that? How the fuck does that happen?
And what did British Gas have to say about this once you had enlightened them to the fact that was complete bullshit?
Well, it's funny how when somebody comes to them, within half an hour, they can switch your electric off on their say-so. But because I'm the person that actually lives here and pays the bill, and had they looked at records online, because, they can do that sort of thing because they have these things called computers, right?
Right.
They would have seen that we'd been paying our bill quite regularly. Right? We've been putting money on the meter all this time, right? There's nothing, no missed bills, no underpayments, no nothing, right? Everything's been quite normal and straightforward with us. But no, they didn't do that. They just cut us off.
Right.
So I went through, let's see, how many people did I speak to? I spoke to 5 different people. I got different stories from each one. First one that I spoke to was actually quite good. She started the ball rolling with getting this whole thing sorted.
Right.
And she said, like, right, okay, what we got to do is it's going to take 4 hours to get you back online again. So I'm like, all right, fine. Obviously there's processes to follow. And I told her that, well, before this thing went off, I had 40 quid and it's gone now.
Yeah.
That's it. The thing's flashing. She went, wait 4 hours, we'll have you back online. 4 hours goes by, nothing happens. So I complain again. And so they say, okay, wait another 4 hours, we'll have you back online. I went out to the meter. The meter's flashing. So I thought, right, let's see if we can try and resolve this. Hit the button a couple of times and held the button down on it. Suddenly, the electric comes back online. There's 20 quid's worth of emergency money on there, but there's no £40. So we're sitting there now. We're having to use the 40 quid, right? I phone them back again, and they're trying to sort this out for me. And it's like, well, look, 20 quid's not going to last forever. So what's going to happen? And they're like, well, let's try and get your card back online again, your payment card. And she read out this number, and it's like, oh, so that is definitely the one you're reading me is the one I've already got. And it went, yeah, she said, you can use it, not a problem. But the only trouble is you've got to go to a shop and you've got to put money on it that way. What? So this is where the Hobbit quest began.
Okay.
So on that morning,
right? Okay.
Or shall I say that afternoon? It was getting near evening, and it was dark, or getting dark.
Yes.
I've been looking up all kinds of retail, establishments that accept the card and put payments on it for me.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them had shut down during the pandemic. Either that or they were just closed. So I took my sorry ass looking for a shop that actually wasn't out of business or shut. I walked for many miles past many fields and houses until I came to a shop that I saw on the Google actually accepted by payment card.
Yes.
So I walked into the shop and I said to the young man behind the counter, I would like to put some money on my payment card. He went, certainly, sir. I handed him the card. I pulled out my Visa, ready to pay for it. He went, now, sorry, mate, we only accept cash for this. It's like, what?
Cash?
Cash. Because apparently I've gone into a time warp back to 1962, right? This is it, okay? This is where we've got shops that only accept cash
God.
again. Or groats, or, I don't know, cows and sheep or whatever. So I'm like, and he can visibly see the displeasure on my face. And I think my attitude changing from being polite to being quite abrupt was a bit of a telltale. And I went, so is there an ATM round here? He went, nah. So I looked it up again. I went looking for an ATM nearby, right? After I walked all this way. Yes, you do. This is the second part of the Hobbit quest.
Oh, right. Okay,
Right?
hold on. It's going. Give it a second.
No problem.
Right, go on. Here we go.
So once again, I set off on my journey to find the mystical ATM.
Right.
I find one not 20 minutes away. So I walk, and I walk, and I walk, and finally arrive at my destination, only to find that Google Maps was wrong, and there was no cash machine. But there was a co-op that was doing cashback in it. But he said, you'll have to buy something first. So I purchased chewing gum. Yes.
30 quid's worth.
And a jazz bag.
30 quid's worth of chewing gum and a copy of Razzle.
Exactly.
A cucumber
Yep.
and some
Toilet roll.
E45.
I'd like a kumquat and some hubba bubba, please.
Oh, God.
So I did purchase these items to get the £10 cash back, and with my folding money within my hand.
£12 getting the £10.
Hold on, you ain't got to the best bit yet. With my £10 in my hand, I set forth once again to the mystical shop on the hill.
Don't tell me it was shut.
It was. No. It had closed down. So it had gone out of business in the half hour I'd been gone. So anyway, I get back to said shop, and I can see by the look on the bloke's face that he's remembered me, you know. And he wasn't so enthusiastic and bouncing up to the counter when I got there. So I gave him the card,
Right.
and I gave him the tenner,
Yeah.
and he swiped the card and said, "Sorry, mate, your card doesn't work." So I go back home. Right?
I'd like to buy some candles, please.
And a jar of your finest colour gas. I bought 14 tins of lighter fluid.
And a match. I'd like a packet of Swan Vistas and some potpourri.
Yes. So anyway, right, I go back home and
God.
and I phone them again, and this time they give me another card number. Right?
Oh, God.
So
this was actually right. So I went back to the shop. No. What they did was I got back. I thought, right, I'll leave it until I think that's right. I'll leave it until morning. So I phoned them the next day. They gave me a payment card, another one, right, another number to go online. And I said, so I thought, you know what? Fuck going to the shop. I'm going to try the website. So I managed to find the British Gas top-up site, right? I've put the card number in, and it's accepted it, right? Okay, so it's like, right, so I can now put some money on there, right? I put £10 on there because I think, yeah, okay, that with the emergency money, that'll help us out until they sort this out. Because now it's the weekend, right? Okay, it's getting this was Friday. That's it, Friday. That's it. So it's getting near the weekend. So I've got to have this sorted now because otherwise, I'm going to have to wait until Monday for them to sort this thing out, right?
Right.
Because they don't do. Apparently, people don't have emergencies on the weekend. So I'm an anomaly, apparently.
Right.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So, that morning, right?
Yeah.
I put £10 on that card and it shows up on the meter.
Yes.
Right? And it's like, okay, fine, we can rest easy. We're sat there. 11 o'clock comes around again. All of a sudden, the power goes off.
Oh, God.
This is half an hour. Yeah, so I went to the shop. No. For a lion bar.
7 jars of KY. 7 cans of KY.
And several jars of Marmite.
A packet of Watsons.
Because I couldn't find any Swarfiga. So anyway.
Right.
It goes off again.
Right.
So it's like, for fuck's sake. I go out to the meter. It's doing the same thing again. It's flashing. I hit the button, and this time, what I'm welcomed with, right? Okay, again, the £10 has evaporated. Right, it's gone, up in fucking smoke. Right,
right. Yeah.
And what it's been replaced by is not £20 worth of emergency money.
No.
Not £15 worth of emergency money. Not £10 worth of emergency money. But now £5 worth of emergency money.
Jesus Christ.
I phoned them back about this, right? And I'm saying, look, this is getting bad now.
Yeah.
So the woman I speak to says, right, okay, this is what you do. If it gets below £2, call us back again. And because it's gone below £2, we can class it as an emergency and we can get an engineer out to come and put some money on the meter. So I'm like,
right,
all right, fine. The very next morning, Saturday morning, it goes below £2, right? Because I've looked at the shower, right? That's all I did was look at it, and it's lost. Like, I think it was £1 just went because we both had a shower that morning. It used up a whole £1. That was it. So it's pushed it now. Because before I went in, it was £2.50. When I came out the shower, it was £1.60. Right?
You shouldn't use a hairdryer so much, Darren.
Yeah,
I shouldn't, should I?
No.
So anyway, it's gone below that. So I phoned them back again, right?
Yeah.
I get 2 people trying to convince me, because I tell them, look, I've been told you'll get an engineer out to come and see me. And they're like, well, we can't do that unless you make an account. So I'm like, but my account is being looked at. And I went, yeah, but all you got to do is go on, create the account again. It will be ready in 4 hours. Fuck's sake. It'll be ready in 4 hours, right? And then we can get an engineer because we can't book an engineer until you've got an account. And I'm thinking, nah, this ain't right. And so I followed their lead. I went to the website, and that was when God stepped in. And he went, nah, that's bullshit. And what he did was he crashed the website. That's what he did, right? The one where you go and create the account, he stopped me from going in there. I said to him, it's not working. It's saying here that the site's down and it will be back later on.
Yeah.
And the girl's like, well, I can see it. And I'm like, yeah, you're an employee. You're on the intranet, probably.
Yep.
And, that's why you can see it. And it dawned on her that was what it was.
Yeah.
So anyway, I put the phone down on them and I phoned back again because I thought, I'm not happy with this answer. And this time, I actually got through to someone who knew what the fuck they were doing, right?
Right.
Or one of them. So it was one of these 3 individuals, okay?
Mm.
She said, yeah, no problem. I'm booking an engineer to come out and see you. They'll come and put some money on the meter.
Mm.
The engineer didn't turn up, but mysteriously, £20 emergency money appeared on the meter.
Right.
Right? So this is done, and it's like, all right, fine. Nothing's going to happen until Monday, so we'll leave it at that, right?
Right.
And we thought, right, we'll go to the cinema. Let's just get out of it, go and do something, and I'll tell you about the film later on.
Yeah.
But we come back, or I should say, it comes to Monday, right? And nothing's been sorted. So I phoned up British Gas again. And I got talking to a Scottish bloke named Scott, right? Now, I trust this man because, well, he's named after his nationality, right?
Of course.
That's what it was. And I told him this, and he went, oh, yes. He said, I am trustworthy. You can talk to me, sir.
Oh, yes, I am.
Yeah.
Bye, listeners in Scotland.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming.
No. This man is a superhero. And
I know, but Elton's impression.
Yeah. Oh, cheers, Elton. Thanks, man.
Elton's, your meter's going off in 5 minutes, Del.
Yeah,
don't worry.
It is. So he's looking through this, and he's like, I can't believe nobody's raised a complaint. I was like, they haven't? He's like, no, they haven't. So he goes and he raises a complaint, and he's like, he's read back my telephone number. He said, can I get you on that? I said, can I be honest with you? I said, every single person I've spoke to has said that. The calls have dropped off and nobody's called me back. And he went, don't worry, he said, because I told him about the podcast. He went, look, I don't want to be the bloke on the podcast you say didn't get the job done. So he goes, I'm going to call you back. Not a problem. I went, should we test it out? And he did. He called me back.
So hang on. So you used your fame.
Yeah, I did.
On this podcast.
I did.
Do you know who I am?
I don't
Use
think it
that
mattered.
line.
Yeah, it didn't matter.
There is one guy in North Korea who's still listening to us.
Yeah.
And that bloke's deeply influential.
Indeed, he is. But anyway, this guy took my details. He went and looked into it. He did this. He's like, right, hold the line there for a minute. Oh, no, I did this, that, and the other. And to cut an even longer story short, by Tuesday, this bloke had sorted out my problem and he got 40 quid put back on the meter, right?
Right.
That's it, right? He got the account fixed. The other guy was wiped off of it. Our account was back running. The only thing was, I said to them, we want compensation, but the only compensation we want is for you to take care of the emergency money, right? So we've got the 40 quid back, or 50 quid. And he went, yeah, sure, no problem. There'll be another team who'll phone you to sort out the emergency stuff. I can only get this amount put on for you. It's like, no, it's not a problem. You've done well. I said, can I speak to your manager? And he went, yeah, sure, no problem. I'll go and get him. Couldn't speak to his manager because his manager was busy, but he put on his trainer. Now, that is an important word, trainer. Because
put on a shoe.
No. Because
how does a Nike Air sound?
This is the thing. Scott was only in his second week of working there, and that was his second week of training.
Yeah.
That man who knew, has only just started the job, was the one that sorted the fucking problem. He's going to be running British Gas by next week. You watch.
They'll fire him for being too efficient, costing them 50 quid.
They will. But he got it sorted, and I'm now back online. I'm still waiting for him to call. I'm going to have to chase him up about the emergency money, but it's been a fucking roller coaster. It's been stressful. All the goodwill the holiday raised has gone,
right?
Because of this. Because we couldn't go out. We've got medication in the fridge. Can't go below a certain temperature, right? So when the electrics went off, that's when panic mode happened.
So I went to the shop. To buy some
So I went to British Gas Central. No. With an attitude and a sock full of coins.
Nice.
So, there we go.
Right.
That is the saga of Darren, and I've not mentioned the name of the person that is actually responsible for all this kicking off.
Why not?
Why not?
Well, apparently they told me some bloke called Adam Reed had phoned up.
Oh.
Now, I've never heard that name before, but I'll tell you what, I've been seeing it all over the place now. Yeah.
Adam Reed. Ooh.
Adam Reed, right? I told my boss about this. And yesterday, as I got home, he sent me a text message and he went, found him, and there's a shop he was staying there called Adam Reed. It's like, oh, you fucker. So, yes, there you go. That is the saga. So it's all kind of sorted now. I do still have a little bit of PTSD from the whole experience.
Yeah, I imagine so.
If the lights flicker, it's like, oh, fuck no.
Okay. Cool. Well, if you want, I can put the AI back on and and take over while you have a little lie down, if you like.
No, it's good, man. It's good. It's good to talk.
Sure?
Yeah, I've expunged it.
You've expunged it.
I've expunged it.
Do you want a bit more Golden Giltrap?
Oh, you could do. Yeah, put some golden on. Go on.
There you go.
Yeah.
Just to brighten your day. There you go. Oh,
indeed.
I mean,
yeah, that's better. That's better.
It's better. Has that helped?
That was an unexpected journey, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah. Certainly.
I'm glad you were there with me. I feel, the support. I feel the love and support.
Yeah, and obviously, if Scott's listening to this podcast right now, I mean, well done, mate. But
yeah, well done.
You've
fucking well done.
And if anybody has any problems with British gas, do call up.
Scott. Scott is the man you want.
Talk to Scott and tell him the Black Dog sent you. It won't mean anything.
No, it will. It will. Trust me on this. And Scott, if you are listening,
come on.
He did say he was going to listen, and I believe him. I believe in Scott.
Jesus
I believe
Christ.
Scott, because Scott fixed things, man. Yeah. Scott was good for his word, so I believe what Scott says.
So you think Scott's done 56 minutes to get to this bit?
I think so.
Well, in which case, Scott's a braver man than I. Well done, Scott.
Yeah.
Yes. Clap round. So anyway, just one more thing. The film that I went to see that night, in order to cheer me up, was Renfield.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, is that really the Cage one?
Yeah. Nicolas Cage as Dracula. Definitely at the beginning of that film, when they do a sort of history drop, is channeling Bela Lugosi without any doubt whatsoever.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, just a really good film. I had a good laugh watching it. So did Ree.
Cool.
But it's that sort of comedy where you're laughing 1 minute and wincing the next because, ultra violence and I've never seen anybody speared by somebody's dismembered arm before, but there you go.
Well, there's a first time for everything, isn't there?
There is.
Cool. So you'd recommend that, yeah?
I would. It talks a lot about narcissism in it, and I've got to say, it's pretty spot on with Dracula. He is kind of the poster boy.
Yeah.
For narcissism.
Right.
Yeah. Especially the way Nicolas Cage plays it as well.
Yeah. He's not chewing the scenery, though, is he? Or
God, yeah, he's chewing the scenery, but he's doing it in a good way.
How he sustains himself now.
It's how he maintains his corporeal form.
It is, yes.
He can only survive by set chewing. Nice.
Oh man, yeah. But he don't get paid much. He's got to eat,
He's got to eat, and he can only eat. He's evolved to eating plasterboard and green screens.
Indeed.
Nice.
Well, anyway, look, thanks guys for coming along to the Darren podcast today.
No, my pleasure. My pleasure. And what we'll be talking about next week, we'll be hanging up now.
Yep. Thank you very much. Good night.
Thank you. Yeah. I've been Darren Barlow. You've been brilliant. Good night. And this is me. Anyway.
Yep.
Cool. I take it that's it.
There's been other things, but I'm not going to go into them now.
Okay.
That's it. I feel as though we've had enough of my week, but it has been a bit flippy floppy, as in good, bad, good, bad, good, bad,
Good, bad.
yeah,
Good, bad, flippy flop. Right. I don't know how to follow that. I'll just do my week then really quickly. I watched 2 films. And one was mediocre, which was Operation Fortune with Jason Statham. Jason Statham, whose whole personality is that he growls like this, and talks about wine. That's his entire thing, and he's a super spy. And
like a good Chardonnay when I'm kicking someone's teeth through their ear holes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's that kind of thing. And the plot's nonsense, the action's nonsense. It's one of those films. It's one of those films that I call a scroll and text film, and you just want it on in the background, and you can come in at any point in the film and know exactly what's going on, and it wouldn't make any difference to you if you missed an hour, 5 minutes, 50 minutes. If you went off to the toilet, had a full-on 1 hour leg-numbing shit, came back, you'd still know exactly where you are in the plot. It was just like, yeah, all right, whatever. Oh, and it also has Hugh Grant once again doing that. Oh, naughty. I'm being a bit freaky deaky because I'm in a Guy Ritchie film. Naughty, kind of voice. And he's a bad guy. Oh, I'm a bad guy. Ooh. And then there's a plot with another bunch of bad guys, and bad guys double crossing bad guys, and satellites, and Aubrey Plaza kind of going around making sarcastic quips, wearing swimsuits, and that's about it. It'll pass the time. It will not tax. It will not tax your brain cells even one iota, and it won't even tax your time that much if you just leave it running in the background, wander off, come back. You'll still know where you are with it. The only thing you'll do, and the only thing that's worth noting, is you'll watch it and go, fucking hell, that geezer from The Princess Bride's gone downhill a bit. Kari Ulls has really has aged as the sort of M-style handler of this team of spies. But yeah, it's nonsense. It's just, I just kind of left it be. But it wasn't as big a pile of absolute dog shit as the other film I watched, which was Black Adam. Black Adam, which, yeah, if you want to see The Rock basically misunderstand how superhero films are supposed to work, then this is the film for you. It is absolute, total, 100% grade A, full of nuts and half digested sweet corn with a lolly stick in the fucking side, going white on the pavement, dog shit. It is
70s reference, nice.
Yeah, you got to go for the white crumbly dog shit with a lolly stick in it.
Yeah.
Too much bone meal in your dog food. Yeah, I mean, it's just...
chalk.
Chalk, yeah, exactly. It is complete and utter shit. I've never been in a film where, even when he's supposed to be this kind of, I don't know, anti-hero kind of Shazam type character. I'm not really au fait with Black Adam. I'll be right up front with that. But as far as it goes,
yeah,
he comes back from the dead after 5,000 years. Some bloke is after a magic crown made of wankium, which is essentially it's kind of like, oh, I've got this magic crown, and if I put this magic crown on my head, it'll give me the powers of demons and shit. And then Black Adam turns up and goes, no, you won't, and beats everyone up. And then sort of decides that that's all he's going to do. He's just going to float and mope around this city. And then what happens is the Justice Society of America, rock up, and they just make things worse. by essentially every time Black Adam looks fucking boss-eyed at them, they go, "You're not a hero," and they have a random fight that destroys like half a city block of this Middle Eastern town, which literally was getting on perfectly fine before they arrived. And you've got Pierce Brosnan as sort of dollar store if wet Doctor Strange with a golden helmet, called Dr. Fate. And all he can do is he can speak in kind of roundabout ways, and it's like, yes,
yes,
you know,
quavers, or quavers.
So I went to the shops to buy myself some pickled onions.
It appears my power card is not being accepted by the machine in the shop.
It appears that my emergency £10 has been pissed up the wall because the meter's gone off. But he talks in kind of roundabout ways that reminded me of the Sphinx from Mystery Men. You know, if you let the powers of the fates control you, then you will be controlled by the fates. It's like, oh, for God's sake, shut up, man. Then you got Wish version of Ant-Man called Atom Smasher, who essentially his entire power is he grows, bumbles about a bit, lifts a statue, and he's done. You've got another one which is Tornado, which is this girl who basically floats around like a sort of like representation of a fart in an advert for about air fresheners, and she just flops about, and you sort of see these green and purple clouds, and then every now and again, to remind you that she's in there, it goes into slow-mo and shows you her face going like this kind of just imagine the face that would go with that sound. That's it. That's her entire, from start to finish. That's her personality. She makes green and purple clouds and goes and then you got Hawkman, and Hawkman just keeps going up to people going, "You're no hero," and then tries to beat them up, and then they beat the fuck out of him, pull his wings off, throw him around, kick him in the bollocks, throw him out bits more, and he goes, "You're no hero," and starts to fight with someone else. He just fights everyone. And you're thinking, hang on, the Justice Society of America just rock up in some Middle East city, fuck it all up, start a fight with the only person doing anything about anything in the town, and then meanwhile you got The Rock kind of floating around like a bag of walnuts, sort of looking around as if someone's asked him to do calculations in his head, and with the personality of a dead dodo going, "I beat people up. That's what I do." And everyone goes, "Yeah, all right." And then just like an obligatory kid with a skateboard and a single mum running about the place. And it's just like, it's like superhero movies have gone back to the 1990s, just before Spider-Man and before Batman and all that sort of stuff, where it's just like, all we got to do is stick someone famous in a cape and just blow shit up.
This sounds awful.
It is fucking awful, and it goes on for so long, and it's so much of it is just the heroes punching fuck out of each other because they all don't think the other one's a hero. And then it just and then some random tosspot who you could see was the villain from the absolute start turns up and goes, "Ha, I have double-crossed you all. I have got the crown." He turns into a CG sack of potatoes with a bunch of horns, goes, "I'm going to sit on this throne, and if I sit on this throne, I'll control the entire city." And you thinking a little small there. And then he does sit on the throne, and then just to really hammer all the cliches home, a big beam of light shoots into the sky to make a big glowy thing in the sky, because that's the only way that superhero movies can represent something bad happening, by making a beam of light go into the sky, making a hole in the sky, like every superhero movie for the last 30 years. And then they pull his horns off and he dies, and that's it, the end. And in between all of that is hours and hours and hours of exposition. And I'm talking about actually literally just monologuing at the camera. It's like, back 5,000 years ago, there was an evil king who wanted to get all these guys to dig and created slaves, and they dug a holes and they found this material called Ethereum, and Ethereum was this power that led to this other power, and then they decided they were going to make a crown of it. And then what happened was, whenever someone kind of rose up, the people would smack him down, and there was one person who found some Ethereum and he was killed, and then there was a boy who rose up, and you're like, am I watching a fucking episode of Jack and Ori, or am I watching a film? And then they do all that, and that literally takes about 20 minutes of just explaining the backstory. And then you do all that, and then you get into the actual fucking story, and then Pierce Brosnan about halfway through goes, yes, what happened was the Ethereum did that. And he goes on and he does it. He literally recounts the whole fucking thing all over again. And you're like, Pierce, did you really need the conservatory that much, dude? Just stop. Stop it. You should be fucking drinking margaritas in a retirement home somewhere. Just fuck off. Don't be in this shit. Black Adam is absolute dog shit. I paid £1.99 on Amazon Prime as a special deal, and we had nothing to watch, and I felt done. I was absolutely conned by fucking Black Adam, because I thought it was bollocks. Yeah. Absolute bollocks.
Let's just back up some of the bollocksy thing with this. Now, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson goes on constantly about how this has been, a passion project of his for the past 15 years, right? He's trying to get it back. I've read things about that. For somebody who's so passionate about it, he really didn't understand Black Adam at all, right? And I find this is a problem with people doing like villain-centric movies, where they have the villain and they can't resist making them the good guy. They can't resist it at all. For one thing, how Adam gets his powers, right? The motive behind him getting the powers is completely wrong. The man's a bit of a cunt, right? Let's just say that. The man is a bit of a cunt.
Right.
And I think what it was his son who had the power.
Oh, yeah, that all gets explained in the film.
No. Not the way it actually took place. He basically double-crossed his son and took the power. That was it. There wasn't none of this, Daddy, have my powers. No, fuck that. He wouldn't give us them powers.
Have you seen this film, then?
What? I have, yeah.
God almighty.
I went and watched it. Me? That was it. It happened. I didn't find it,
Did you not find the Justice Society of America a complete bunch of absolute dipshits?
Yeah, that is the whole typical sort of, punch first, ask questions later. You've got the wise mystic Dr. Fate, who's supposed to be wise and mystic. But,
and able to see everything.
Yeah, exactly. But he's unwise and bostic. But, yeah.
It was chuff.
Yes. Every time I see stuff like that, right, these sort of films, it's that whole Doctor Who speech, right, Peter Capaldi gives in that one episode where he goes, how many people have got to die? How many parents have got to lose their children before you do what you should have done, or what you should have done all along, and talk to each other?
Yeah.
And it's just, it's that.
But it's even worse, because these guys are all supposed to be. You don't even know who these fuckers are, and it's all like, oh yeah, you're supposed to understand that you're cheering for these guys, and they spend like 10 minutes apiece going, who are you? I'm Atom Smasher. Why are you called Atom Smasher? Well, I can rearrange my atoms and I can smash them together and make myself bigger, which is complete nonsense. And then it's like, and where'd you get the suit from? Oh, Henry Winkler gave it to me. What, the Fonz? Yeah. The fucking Fonz gave it to me. Yeah. It's an antique. Well, what's with the suit then? Oh, well, that's what helps me have the powers. Oh, right, okay, fine. You're like, I don't care. I genuinely don't care. And and then it's like, who are you? Well, I'm a girl with an IQ of 147. What do? I turn into a guff of potpourri, and every now and again, slow-mo shows you my face making some kind of slightly post-orgasmic kind of noise. And and shit flies about, and it's just, the special effects are dog fuck. I mean, they really are awful.
That's a new one there. I've got to write that down.
Dog fuck.
I'm gonna steal that one.
Yeah.
That's, yes.
Yeah, absolute bollocks. You know when you play a video game and you think none of the weapons I'm firing have any weight or feeling like I'm doing anything. I just feel like there's just stuff happening on the screen. That's exactly how it looks every time any one of the Justice Society of America turn up and do anything. And then they're all standing there going, hey, everyone, stand back. We've got this. We've got it all under control. And the entire city has gone from being like a city being shot up by a bunch of mercenaries to 4 superpowered arseholes have fallen out of a plane and basically nuked the entire area for no other reason than Hawkman with a bit of attitude thinks that Baldy Walnuts, the Black Adam, isn't a superhero.
Is that the Asylum version of Black Adam?
Baldy Walnuts. Yeah, I think so. I think
Baldy Walnuts.
Yeah, Baldy Walnuts. That's what I'll call him from here on in. Because it was. That's him. Baldy Walnuts. Because there was nothing else. There was no personality there. And then suddenly, magically, people have got powers and things are getting blown up, and it's like, why?
Yeah.
For a magic crown? Well, what's the magic crown do? Don't know.
Oh,
right?
It's a crown that does magic. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Well, fucking whoopity fucking do. And what? Oh, who blew up the castle? Who cares? You know, shit doesn't matter if you don't care. And I didn't care at all. At all. I could have if this film was 35 minutes long, I would have thought, fucking hell, this is going on a bit. But no, it's 2 cocking hours. Which ironically takes us to our next film. So I shall stop there.
Okay.
Because otherwise I will just keep going on. But rest assured, Black Adam has gone into my list of top 10 absolute fucking wastes of my life that I will regret on my deathbed. It is right up there. Because I genuinely, after all that bollocks about, we're rearranging the balance of the DC universe. No, you're not. You're just Baldy Walnuts, the fucking useless superhero whose entire thing is moves slightly fast, punches things slightly hard, and happens to be living in the city where the material which is actually founded on is the only stuff that can actually fucking kill you. You Burke. Absolute numbnut. Baldy Walnuts, the numbnut.
I'll put you down for a maybe for that one.
Yeah. Put me right down for a maybe. Maybe I'll watch this again, or maybe I'll decide to have a pineapple enema.
Okay.
See which one's more likely. Right now, I'm going 50-50 on that. Yeah, and that's it, really. Yeah. It's my week, my fortnight. I did put some money down on the National, but that's only because on the GGs.
On the GGs, yes.
I never wanted to. I'll be honest with you, just in case anyone's going to sort of like jump the fence and try and call me a horse murderer or something. It's just the people we were staying with were putting bets, and they went into this betting shop and then said, "Have you ever been in a betting shop before?" And I said, "No." And they said, "Oh, wow." And then said, "You should do a bet. So you've done at least a bet once." So I did. And I lost.
Oh no, you're totally addicted now.
Oh, absolutely. I'm going into therapy next week.
Are you? Okay.
Yeah. Baldy Walnuts therapy.
Baldy Walnuts, yes.
Baldy Walnuts therapy.
Hi, my name's Baldy Walnuts.
I'm Baldy Walnuts. I'm shaking up the status quo of the DC universe. Baldy Walnuts. Fuck off.
Do you like walnuts? Do you have no hair? Then I've got the place for you. Come to Baldy Walnuts.
Do you have a constant expression on your face that says you're trying to move a particularly tough bowel stone? Do you have a bomb-dropping turd the size of a submarine and haven't eaten enough bran to move it? And you've got a look that's constantly looking like you're sweating bullets trying to not bite on the fucking towel rail? Then you should be Baldy Walnuts, the superhero. He does. He looks like he's either straining to hold in a particularly strong fart while standing at his parents' house, or he's trying to drop a deuce, but he's not eating enough bran. Oh, God. It is the Prometheus of this year. It really is that fucking awful. Really fucking stupid film. Anyway, yeah. So, Anyway. So, Baldy Walnuts, if you've seen it and you like it, fuck you. Anyway, we're moving on now. And if you were one of those absolute dipshits who went in there to go, woo, yeah, when Superman turned up in the end credit sequence, then double fuck you because you're even more stupid than I thought. Yeah, that's about it. Let's move on. I've just insulted everyone. Insult everyone. You're all fucking idiots. Except for you, Scott. You can fix meters.
Oh, man, Scott's the dude.
Scott's the dude.
Scott is the dude.
Scott has logged off.
Oh, he left ages ago.
It's only us. It's only us and that one guy in North Korea.
No, he heard like there was a child stuck in a burning building somewhere. He's gone to save it. That's it.
Obviously, you really do want this meter thing sorted, don't you? You really are blowing him. You're blowing him live on air.
Yeah, that's it.
You are. What you won't do, you dirty, dirty man, just to make this.
I'm giving him lip service, if you pardon the expression.
Yeah. Yeah.
That one was for you, Scott.
Yeah. That one's for you, Scott. And if you know what it is, Scott, we now know. We now know things, Scott. We know about you, Scott. Right.
Indeed.
Anyway, we're going to stop now. We're going to have a drink, and then we're going to try as fast as we can to get through the Triangle of Sadness. Roll the jingle.
Ooh, we're watching a new movie we've never seen before. I'm buttering my nipples and waxing my ass. Roll up the Mystery Monica film. Roll up for the Mystery Monica film. Roll up
Masturbation.
for the Mystery Monica film. Roll up for the Mystery Monica film. The Mystery Monica film is waiting for us to hit play. Going to watch it today. What will we say?
Right, so Triangle of Sadness is a 2022 internationally co-produced satirical black comedy written and directed by Ruben Osterland in his English language feature film debut. The film stars Harris Dickinson, who some of you might remember from being in See How They Run, playing Richard Dickie and what was
Dickie
it?
Attenborough.
Yeah, Attenborough, that's it, Dickie Attenborough. Charlby Dean in her last role. She died shortly before the film came out. Dolly De Leon, Zatlo Burek, Henrik Dorensen, Vicky Berlin, and Woody Harrelson in I'm Gonna Get My Money and Fuck Off. The film follows a celebrity couple on a luxury cruise with wealthy guests. And then it all goes a bit on the wonk. That's all I'm going to say about that. The film had a budget of $15.6 million. How much do you think it made at the box office, Jim?
30 million pretzel sticks.
Oh, you git.
Okay, 30 million pretzel sticks. Elton.
One dead donkey. No, hang on. One dead donkey.
No,
hang on. One dead donkey. No. Hang on. Hang on. One dead donkey. There we go.
There you go. Okay. Darren, how much do you reckon it made?
I reckon it made a lifeboat full of salt and vinegar crisps.
Well, actually, you're all wrong. What it made was... Think about it.
Nice.
Anyway, yes. So, there is an awful lot on the Wikipedia for this, including all sorts of stuff about critical response and production and stuff that I cannot talk about because we'll be spoiling it before we even start. So I'll leave it there. But let's just go around the table quickly. I know this was your pick, Dal, sort of in absentia, because you mentioned it while you
mentioned it in passing. Oh,
you did mention it in passing.
The triangle of sadness.
Yes, I think we might try that one day. And it's like you're not around and you got to pick. And I think everyone was worried that if you didn't pick, it would be my turn again.
It was either that or we had to find a film called Posh Fish.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What film did you want to have, Darren?
Posh fish.
What do you mean, posh fish? You can't have posh fish.
Posh fish.
No, stop insisting.
Posh fish.
No. Anyway, yes. So let's go around the table and find out what everyone thought. And Dal, you'll go last as it was your pick unofficially. So let's start with you, Elton. What's your general vibe before we get into it?
I really, really loved this.
Yeah?
Yeah, I really did. I caught myself halfway through going, I'm fucking enjoying this so much.
Yeah?
I love how strange it was and how not obvious it was as well.
Okay.
But I had a lot of fun with it. I didn't find it rip-roaringly funny or anything like that. It wasn't hilarious. There were moments where I was like, pretty good. But overall, I flipping loved this. I thought it was brilliant.
Okay. Jim?
When it started, I was kind of, am I going to enjoy this? But then it did win me over and got me on board. However, at a certain crucial point, it did lose me. But I won't say where for spoiler reasons at this time.
Okay. For me, I thought it was... Initially, I thought it was interesting in a kind of the same way as The Menu. And I thought it was going to be interesting like that all the way through. But I don't know if it's going to be the same place as Jim, but it actually lost me and irritated me so much that I'm going to confess this because I've got to confess it because otherwise it becomes bloody obvious once we get to it. Or I paused the film. I think it was like midnight yesterday. Well, I've been watching it for 2 and something hours, and I looked at how much time we had left, and it was like 20 minutes. And I am ashamed to say that I started watching it, and when things started not happening, but just continuing on, I had a little trigger on the PlayStation, and I just went skip 10 seconds, skip 10 seconds, skip 10 seconds, skip 10 seconds. Oh, there's dialogue. Skip back. Skip 10 seconds. Skip 10 seconds. And yeah, I got through the last 27 minutes in about 8.5 because the film had completely lost me by that point, and I'd literally run out of patience with it. But for reasons that I'll explain later. But the first half, I was kind of intrigued, and then I was kind of irritated by the self-indulgence, and then it turned into a thing that I saw coming from a mile off. And then by the end of it, I was just like, you know what? I am done with this. You're wasting my time. But that was because we had 20 minutes left and it was midnight. And I really wasn't going to change my mind on it by that point.
Yeah.
So, yeah. What about you, Dal?
I've got to say, I quite enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
It. I mean, I've got to admit, I didn't know what message it was trying to give from time to time because it kept changing, I think, what it was trying to say. And it didn't, it didn't kind of stick to one thing. It just went off. I've made this point, now I'm going to go and make this point. And I'm bored with that point, I'm going to make this point now. There's one scene that actually did make me laugh out loud. Such a slap in the face. It was just a reaction. I'll say is on go the glasses.
No.
Oh, I think it's one of ours.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. I think it's one of ours.
Yep. The husband's reaction.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing of slowly putting his glasses on and then.
What's that, dear? Oh. Yeah.
But I liked some of the stuff it was, or some of the points it did make. Quite an open ending. I thought, so did this happen or did it not happen?
Well,
where did they go from here?
Yeah. Well,
down to the lake I fear.
And I go. Anyway, away from the Haircut 100, Haircut 100 fucking references. Okay, so as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, it's a bit of a mixed bag, this film. I would suggest that if you are interested in taking part in the discussion or sending us any feedback, I would stop right there, because we can't really discuss this film without going deep into spoilers. And I think by now you've figured out from what I said earlier that we're already running a little bit late, so we're going to just dive right in. There's no preamble. So going forward right now from the sound of the Shaggy, it'll be spoiler time. Okay? Or the Lighthouse, actually. So, ladies and gentlemen, you've been warned. Spoilers are ahoy. Wasn't me. There you go.
Perfect.
Right. Spoilers. Okay. So let's go around the table again. Let's start with you, Elton, because you seem to have the most positive of positive reactions.
Yep.
So go on in. Go for it. What did you think of it?
Well, I didn't know what to expect when I first got into it. I was apprehensive because I think we've done a couple of modern movies recently where I've gone into it going, I should like this, and have been a little bit underwhelmed. And I was expecting, maybe that's why I enjoyed it so much, but I was expecting it with this one. I wasn't expecting to really enjoy it so much. How many, I know it sounds stupid and trite, but layers that were in there as well. Like the whole class system that just runs all the way through this film is just intriguing. And you have lots of different tones that are going on. You have like the masculine and the feminine thing going on in the very first half, where because it's set in 3 parts, isn't it?
It's 3 acts.
Yeah.
Kind of.
And they're distinct acts as well, aren't they? There's no like flow in between them. It's like, no, this is it, that's finished. This is it, that's finished. This is it, that's finished. And yeah, there's lots of different stories to be told within this. And I think I just got so much from it. I really don't know where to start with it, because the interesting thing I found was the class thing, where you have, I think it was more prevalent when you was on the yacht and on the island, where you had the rich and the powerful on the boat, and then you have like all the staff there, and then down below you have all the cleaners and people that tidy up after everyone else, and you've got all these millionaires on there which are being waited on with the staff. And the staff are looking forward to all their bonuses and all their tips and everything like that. And it's going to be great. We're having like a big clap along session where they're really getting buzzed up. And then downstairs, you can hear them looking forward to all their money through all the cleaners. And you're like, yeah, okay. That's shit, isn't it? But then when you get to like all the rich people, all they're doing is just arsing around. They look completely bored out of their heads. They're looking for something to do, and all they're doing is taking photos of each other, and it's all this fakeness. It's like, is it really worth it? Who is the rich one here, really? And I just found it fascinating all the way through. But then you get onto the island, and you have I forget her name now. Is it Abby?
Oh God, what's her
Abigail?
name? Abigail.
Abigail. Yeah, she turns up in the boat, and immediately that Paula lady, that Vicky Berlin who plays her, immediately turns back onto work shift and like, oh well, yeah, you're the cleaner, so you can sort this out, and you hand me them. Do this, do that, do this, do that. And you're like, whoa, hang on a minute. Let's all just chill out for a bit, and we're all in this situation together. But it's not like that. It was I just found it fascinating.
Okay. Cool. And what about you, Jim? I mean, you were saying, like, you know, it lost you at a certain point, but
so when it started, it was kind of like, I was a bit wary of black comedies, as I often find black comedies sort of translates to, we wrote the jokes but not the punchlines. Or these jokes aren't funny, actually. They don't work. And at first I thought, it's not going to be one of those, is it? But once I actually get like onto the ship, it was kind of, all right, I can see where this is going now. To an extent, and I still started to really enjoy it, and I kind of enjoyed that kind of descending into chaos. And then even when they got the island, I thought, yeah, fine, and their sort of dynamics, and there's all going to go Lord of the Flies. But where it really lost me was the fact that I don't think they had an ending, and it just stopped.
Yeah,
if you were going for an Inception, so we leave you with a question. You don't do it like that. That was fucking, you didn't want slapping if that's what you were going for. And it just kind of, I feel this is a film very, very like The Menu. And yet the menu is in acts the same. But The Menu has a punchline. This film doesn't. And after the kind of film it's being, to pull the kind of, oh, well, you make up the ending, is a bit like, no, I stayed there for fucking 2.5 hours. You fucking make up the ending, cunt.
Yeah.
You've had 2.5 hours to build up to this.
Yeah, but then it feels like the sort of film that's kind of doing that whole, are you as entitled as the people on the boat by expecting a finale? And it's just like, oh, get over yourself. Okay. What about you, Dal? Go on in.
Well, I liked the bit at the beginning with character. I can't remember his name there.
There was Carl.
Carl Yaya.
Carl and Yaya. It's the whole thing of him wanting to change the dynamic of their relationship, you know, and like just trying to explain to her that it's not about the money, it's just about the whole. How can I explain it? It's like if you're in a relationship with someone, right? You're living with someone, okay? I think there was a report out that said that one of the things that, one of the reasons that a lot of women have split up with their partners in the past is that they don't just do a chore. Right? They don't just see it needs to be done and get it sorted. they wait until it gets to a point where, it's about to break apart, and they ask the reason. It said, "Well, you never helped me," and they go, "Well, why didn't you just ask?" And it's the point of, you shouldn't have to ask. You should just see that a thing needs to be done and get it done. Right? Why are you waiting to be asked to help? What is that? And that's the kind of thing I think he was trying to put across to Yaya. Why can't we be equal, in this relationship? Which I thought was quite a refreshing stance.
Right.
From his character there. It was like, this is an interesting conversation. So I thought I like that. Sorry, Elton, you were going to say?
Well, I was going to say, is it though? Because it's she's a model, he's a model, they're in a fashion industry, and yet because he's not paid as much as her, is it refreshing for him to ask, well, I want to be on equal footing with you? Whereas in any other industry, apart from porn, the woman gets paid less than the man. And I think it's asking that question. Why now the tables are turned, now you want to be up with the women? Really? Okay, why wasn't you asking for the women to be up with you when they were not having as much money?
There's a thing going on there. There's he explains why he's a bit put out. They went to dinner the night before, and she went, "Don't worry, I'll pay for it tomorrow night." Right? And there's that whole conversation of the bill was sitting there for a while, and she did nothing. Right? And he's like, "So you didn't see the bill?" She went, "No, I didn't see it there." And it's like, "You really didn't see the bill?" "No, I didn't." So when the guy came up with the bill and put it on the table right in front of you, you didn't see the bill. And it's the fact that she left it sitting there for so long, and then as soon as he touched it, she went, "Oh, thanks for paying for it." She suddenly noticed it then. That was the point he was trying to make there. It's the whole thing of, I don't know, it's that she said she would pay for it. And
the only thing that I was going to say with that whole conversation, and it's I didn't, looking back on it, I think it's the start of my lack of patience with this whole film.
Right.
Is that it comes out later on when they're on the boat that she doesn't actually earn money.
No, she doesn't.
She's a quote unquote influencer, and that's a job.
I really hate that phrase.
Yeah, exactly. And it's that whole thing that really she is an influencer, which means that she gets stuff for free. So she never has any money. So the whole thing about him arguing about money is just him I don't know, white knighting it or high grounding it or whatever you want to call it.
So that means she lied to him.
So she lied, yeah. And she lied to him, but he's also being deliberately, almost willfully antagonistic while trying to sound like, while trying to sound like he's being the progressive one. Do you know what I mean?
This character struck me as kind of a man who could end up in a blazing, violent argument in an empty room with himself.
Yes. Yes.
He's the kind of man who, when he's walking home, falls out with the man in the moon.
Yeah. Who are you fucking staring at, you moon-faced bastard? Carry on, I'm going to get my friend Grumpy Walnuts.
He didn't. This was the thing. It's the point. Another point about that is just when I started feeling that maybe, but I started to kind of slightly warm to his character. He would do something that would completely. It's like, oh, you're just as bad as everyone else.
Well, that's the point. He's as Jim said, he's having an argument with the man in the fucking moon about everything, and he's taking offense at something which when you look at it in the cold light of day, you go, well, actually, she has never had any money because she earns money by going for things for free.
Yeah.
That's her whole thing. That's her whole MO. That, and she trades on it. She even turns around and says, I got this thing, this boat trip for free. And then turns around and says to him quite blatantly that this is just, that the relationship between her and him is just a bit of fun until she can find herself, she can be a trophy wife for a rich husband.
Yep.
So the cards are on the table, but he still wants to take offense that she's not having an equal relationship with him. And so and I hate to turn it into a gender roles study thing, but he's utterly emasculated, trying to bend over backwards to seem progressive.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm trying to be down with it, and I'm trying to understand what it's like to be on equal footing and all this kind of thing. And it's like, yeah, but you're also, it's like that bit. It's like that bit in Life of Brian. Stan wants to be Loretta and says, was it? It's symbolic of our struggle against depression, and which Reg turns around and goes, it's symbolic of his struggle against reality. I mean, it's the same. It's the same deal with this Carl chap. He wants to seem like he's being all forward and progressive and clear, and he knows, he's sensitive and he's thoughtful and all this kind of thing, but the whole film is doing what he does, which is essentially painting itself into a corner and going, that's the theme all the way through the film. People make rules for themselves, allow themselves to be manipulated in certain ways, and then go, oh fuck, why has everything turned out the way it has? So, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of that in this. There's a lot of, it gets to a point where, it's that whole thing of that there wasn't really a good one among them, right? Except for, what was the woman's name in the lifeboat?
Abigail.
No, even she's not.
She's still slightly better than them. She wasn't totally, she could have been a lot worse, right? And that would have just been, so you're trying to say basically that when you give someone power, right, over other individuals, or you give them a higher standing, that they just become these really nasty, horrible individuals. She could have been a lot worse.
Really?
Could have been a lot. Yeah, she could have been.
I know I'm suddenly wading in on a film that I was very clear that I didn't really care for, but she, if the roles were reversed, right, and instead of Carl being taken in for a bag of pretzels for a bit of enforced rumpy pumpy, and you switched it round, and it was Carl luring Abigail in for enforced rumpy pumpy for food, how would you feel about that?
That's not the bit I was actually referring to. It's where she, it's the.
But you can't pick and choose.
No,
she's doing exactly
no. She gave him a choice to do it or not. He could have chose not to.
He's really.
Yeah, that's what she said to him. She said that. I don't know how true that is there, right? Whether he wanted to or not, but it was. I mean, he was quite honest with her. I love you because you give me fish.
Right? He said that night one. I mean, surely that's the fifth date thing at the earliest.
Yeah, it's not island Tinder, for fuck's sake. He's like, looking for woman who gives me fish, will give finger banging in a lifetime.
No, the whole thing of enforced doing anything like that from anybody, whether it's male, female, or female to male, it's never right. That's it. Right? That isn't. None of that is right. The bit I'm referring... No, there's no but. No,
However...
There's no but. The bit I'm referring to is the bit where it's the whole thing of looking after them and bringing them food and stuff like that. She went out and she did her thing. I don't know, I just feel as though she could have been a lot worse than that. If she turned exactly like those characters were beforehand, that sort of... I mean, you see it by the end of it as well, right? The final line from Yaya, right, which is, come and I can help you out. You could be my assistant. The moment the power switches, Yaya goes back to being just as she was before. She hasn't learned any lessons from this. You know, it's not that try to treat people better. She just goes back to being...
Things are back to normal now, aren't they?
Yeah, things back to normal.
Yeah.
I think it's a very true thing as well about humans.
But
I don't think it's such a... Things are, you know, people, once they're out of danger and something isn't affecting them so much, you find a lot of people just go back to being the way they were before. They haven't learned anything from the experience, or it's kind of like the pressure's not on them anymore, so conveniently they forget.
Well, let's be honest. How many people do you think on the train nowadays wash their hands every 5 minutes and cover their hands in alcohol wipes after they've been to the toilet?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to guess at about 0.
Yeah. There's none of that at all. So, I don't know. I don't... when it comes to that aspect of looking after them, she could have been a lot worse than she was. She could have been a complete and utter tyrant to them.
I think she was pretty bad for the very first night, though. Or it was almost immediately the tables turned.
Yeah.
And she realised the tables had turned once she brought them all food and did all... She realised everyone was useless. Nobody could make a fire. Nobody could fetch some food or get some water or anything like that. And she had that power. And it was immediate. It wasn't a, well, I'll do this, I'll do that. And it wasn't a slow progression into that. It was, no, one for me, one for you. And that was the first night.
Yeah.
So I think it is showing absolute power corrupts absolutely. That's what it's doing.
Yeah. But that's... Jim, before I go off on one, I was about to go off on one. I just suddenly realised I hadn't given you the space. Go on. Have you got... You want to weigh in on this?
Well, I mean, I think part... So I was totally on board with this film until the end, then it lost me. And then I started calling into question a lot of the other things. And part of the film's problem, and particularly when you're trying to analyse bits like we are now, is that the film changed its focus several times. And it starts out and it's kind of, oh yes, this is a film about this relationship. And it forgets about that. Then right at the end, it's kind of, as Yaya, maybe he's going to get their brains bashed in or not. We then cut to a random scene of Mr. Argument running through the jungle. And it's just kind of like, it's just like, oh yeah, it's about a couple, isn't it? What's he doing? Look, oh, he's running. And it's kind of, what does that even mean? You know what I mean? And it's kind of, the problem is no one does learn anything, but we don't learn anything either.
No. I mean, I was going to say the finale is just literally whether or not Abigail is going to try and kill someone to keep the status quo, because the only person who knows about this is with her.
Yeah. And
the lady who can't say anything other than to the clouds or whatever it is. And you know, and the problem is, you know, you sort of find old argument Jones in Indiana argument
Yeah, the role you've been.
You find him running through the forest, and you think, well, why is he running through the forest? And you got one of two. You got three options. One, he thinks that Abigail's going to kill Yaya, in which case he's going to stop her. Two, he's going to dump Abigail, in which case he's going to tell her. And three, he's worried that Yaya might kill Abigail, in which case he's going to stop Yaya. Any way you care to read it, he's not really doing it out of anything other than self-interest. He's not going to save anyone. He's just trying to keep
seeing.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I thought, does that imply he was there and he's seen the situation? Or is he running to find them? Or is he just having a run? You know what I mean? We have no clue.
Having a joke.
And you
Bumped
can't
into the hat salesman.
Yeah. And the other thing is, you don't know whether or not what he's doing is for any particular reason other than his own self-interest. Because, he's so far, he's told everyone he's going to do this, that, and the other. And, everything from stealing pretzels to fucking finger banging Abigail. It's all the same deal. It's all, I'll tell you one thing and I'll do another.
Whichever the wind's blowing suits me best, and I will have some bullshit argument of why you're actually wrong, and I was doing that in the first place. Honest, yes, no, but yeah, but no, but
yeah, but no, but yeah.
There's a lot of self-interest throughout this whole movie, though. Look at all the selfies there. When Yaya is having her photo taken, eating food, and look at me, I'm so glamorous, I'm so pretty, I'm so wonderful. No, I don't eat that. Are you going to eat that pasta? No, can't eat that. It's all self. The guy that sits there on his own and then comes over and tries to mingle with Yaya and the other lady, and then all of a sudden has a photo taken, then has a photo taken with it. It's all self gratification. It's all, look how wonderful my life is through this lens, but behind it, it's shit, really, isn't it? It's absolutely crap. And they all do it throughout the dinner as well. They're through this fucking dinner, and they're all eating all this posh shit, where you got the captain who's like, do you know what? I'll just have burger and chips. And everyone else is having squid and all this stuff, all this opulence that is all over the table for everyone. And they will not stop because that is their life. They drink the champagne. They eat the crap that they think is really expensive. Why? Because that's what they do. That's what their life is. And if they didn't do that, then they'll be down to burgers and chips. And that's for common folk.
Well, it's one of those, when you get to the actual dinner, you begin to realise why the captain spends all his time in his cabin just getting pissed.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, the dinner is kind of where the film almost should have ended because we've done a few of these films now, which I'm starting to call these kind of 1%ers, where it's kind of like the film is kind of going, look at these people, aren't they horrible? Look at them get their comeuppance because we're turning the spotlight on the hyper entitled,
like Glass Onion.
Glass Onion was one. The Menu is another one. I don't think we've actually done the Menu here yet, have we? But we've all watched it. So the Menu, Glass Onion, this. There was another one that came to mind. My brain's gone completely blank now. But there's this whole thing of aren't these people awful? And look at these people get their comeuppance. And that's fine. But to me, the other two films did this sort of thing with more subtlety. I think that's where my patience ran out with it. And it's like this film did the one thing where it's like they did the Chekhov's gun thing of the lady who's geeing up all the stewards going, doesn't matter what they say, you have to say yes. Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter what they ask for, yes. You never say no.
Go for a swim.
Yeah, and it's go for a swim. And your rules are telling you no, but you have to say yes. And then the entitled old lady goes, "No, you have to go. I'm ordering you to go." And it's like, okay, so now you all have to go. And then all of a sudden, it's like down in the galley. It's like, if I don't cook this food, it's going to go bad. But the answer has to be yes. And this old lady wants everyone to go up and do this swim thing. So they go up, do the swim thing, hit a force 9 gale, and the food's bad. So everyone either shits and pisses and pukes themselves to death, or gets seasick, or both.
I think he's having a stroke.
I think he's having a stroke. Everyone stand back. Yeah, and it's nobody's a doctor. Nobody's actually because that bloody.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming. Stepping over the body, and there's the fucking machine going. Now you must place the pads on the patient. And it's like, so it is literally reap what you sow. That's the whole point of the story. It's like, you do these stupid things, you act in these stupid ways, you act entitled, you learn nothing, you push your buttons because you can, you're a hedonist because you can, and everyone puts rules around themselves which sticks them in a situation. And then that situation results in chaos because there aren't rules and there's nothing holding people back from being self-indulgent dicks.
Yeah, once the bottom layer starts crumbling away, that's what's happened, isn't it? Because you have these layers which keep the society running free on this boat. Everything works and everyone accepts their position in their little world. But as soon as that lady says, no, everyone up to do the swim, you remove all of that and the house of cards just comes tumbling down.
Yeah. Because they all get food poisoning. And then the ones who don't get food poisoning are crazy. And,
the dinner gets pushed back as well because of that. They didn't want to do the dinner because there was a gale coming in. They wanted it all done before that. But because of that, everything got pushed back. They are the masters of their own demise.
Yeah. Which gets even worse when they start bullying around people like Abigail. I'll come back a little bit later. No, come back later. And it's like, I'll come back in an hour. No, come back later. It's like, they don't give a shit that someone's day has gone right out the fucking window because they've slept in.
And you also have people that are just so blind to their own views that they will not take no for an answer. The lady that wanted the sails washed.
Yeah.
Everything was absolutely grand and perfect, but the sails are a little dirty. Ma'am, we don't have sails. No, my husband says we do. Do they have it? Yes, yes, you do. Okay, well then I'll get them cleaned. It's just all that shit. It's like, fucking hell. Open your eyes. You're an arsehole. You're fucking everyone else's life up for this.
Yeah, but that's the whole point, isn't it? That's the entitlement thing, and that's the whole point of the film, isn't it? It's like that lady knew there were no sales because the first time she asks. She does that. There's that real close up on her, and then she asks, and she tries to keep a straight face, and she asks, and she takes this big swallow. And the way the film highlights that swallow and highlights the blink and highlights the deep breath, it's someone deliberately asking for something they don't have.
Yeah.
And then she says, "Do you have the sales?" later, and the husband says it was in the brochure. Which means that they haven't even bothered to look at the boat they're on.
Yeah.
They've just seen one on the brochure and then assumed that there were sales. And so then want to seem like they're doing some kind of service for the people below them by saying, we've checked the sales and they're dirty.
Another thing that I noticed as well, you know when you had the scene with the captain and Dimitri, by the way, I fucking love. He was in 2012 as one. Yeah, he was the Russian dad of the twins in 2012.
Okay. You obviously remember a whole lot of 2012 more than I do.
Yeah, I heard his voice. I was like, "Is that him?" Looked him up. I was like, "Yeah, there he is. That's brilliant." But when you have his scene with the captain, Woody Harrelson. and they're quoting famous people from. I always get the politics right, but wrong. But they're like the Marxist quotes and the Ronald Reagan quotes and Margaret Thatcher quotes and stuff like that, and they're one-upping each other and enjoying it. But then they start getting their phones out and start looking up and playing it off as if they'd thought about it, and then reading it out from their phones, and they're both doing it. And it's like, well, you're both on Google. You're just reciting that. And that feels like a way of the world as well, where people are just playing off someone else's information as their own information. And it's what we've all been throughout the whole pandemic, where people all of a sudden are doctors and they know about things and they know how contagions work and how viruses spread and how long they last in the body. And it's just screaming. For me, it was interesting because that was like, oh yeah, okay. People do that. When you have to sit back and look at it and watch the way people take information from the internet and from the news and from hearsay, and they put it out as their own information and tell everyone, oh, yes, well, I do that. Of course I do that. I've been doing that for ages. I haven't done it once. It's, yeah, I love this. I'm enjoying this even more now.
Darren.
Yeah.
Go on. You got anything? You got anything to add?
just the bit with the
hand
Somali pirates.
Oh, the Somali pirates.
Yeah. Get the hand grenade. And it's that bit where it pads back. You hear the hand grenade go off, and then you see the ship from a distance. All of a sudden, it just goes boom, and half the ship disappears.
Yeah, it starts off with that kind of just little puff, and then the whole.
Oh, what's this, dear? It looks like one of ours.
No, Margaret. Yeah, I mean, to be quite honest, that kind of sense of humour I liked. The problem, and again, I sound like I'm coming down on it, but if you like it, and people do clearly dig this film, it's won awards all over the place, but it feels like easy targets.
In what respect?
Well, in terms of like. If you watch, like, I'm going to keep going back to the menu because that's the closest one that we've done recently or looked at recently.
I think it's a good analogue to this movie in many ways.
Yeah, when you look at the menu is picking apart the idea of criticism, the idea of pretension, the idea of showing off, ruining someone's love of their art just so that they can just devour it and make themselves feel better.
Did you notice?
I just want some bread.
The burger and chips is in both films.
Burger and chips, exactly. As a kind of great leveler. It's that kind of thing that doesn't matter whether you're the Pontius chef or you're the highest level captain on a boat. You just want a fucking burger. Sometimes basic's good.
Are these made by the same people at all? No. Okay.
And so it's like when you look at like something like the menu, the whole thing is kind of not just taking pot shots at just like arms dealers and influencers and the super rich. It's taking, because they are in there in the menu. You got those three guys who are influencers who are sitting around the table, but they think they've got 3 million hits on YouTube, so therefore they're big shit. But you've also got the art critic. The food critic. You've got the has-been actors trying to make themselves big deals to people who are below them. You got the pretentious snob who's bringing along a prostitute so he can feel big about himself. Tyler's bullshit. And that feels like a real. The philanderer, who's having an affair. But is also the same person who's buying up restaurants and ruining strip, creating strip malls and all this kind of thing. And it was taking shots at more nuanced targets. Whereas the Triangle of Sadness just goes influencers, bit vacuous, aren't they? Rich people, bit entitled, probably can't do much once they're off, once they've got no one to support them. And yeah, and that's about it. And you kind of go, yeah, and then it goes, oh, and weapons dealers, kindly old ladies, oh, look out, they've been blown up by their own grenade. And to me, that feels like a kind of big old bullseye. You know, I don't think anyone's going to be surprised if someone said, oh, we stuck Elon Musk on fucking Bear Grylls Island. After 5 minutes, he was crying because his phone didn't work.
Well, that's what the Glass Onion did, wasn't it? That
exactly.
Yeah. I think that's why I didn't like that. Because it was a bit too obvious.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. But with something like Triangle of Sadness, it doesn't even try subtlety. It literally puts it right in front of you and just says, look, this is a really bunch of rich bastards. One's a racist and thinks that the only person who was helping him is actually a Somali pirate, but because he doesn't believe that this bloke would be working down in engineering because he's never seen him. Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, have you been down in engineering? Of course you haven't. You know, I'm a Russian capitalist. Yeah, okay, fine. That's irony. That is irony. And I think that was my problem. Once they got on the island and they went Lord of the Flies, I was kind of like, okay, I'm with it. And then when Yaya goes, oh, I'm off, I'm going to go backpacking, I was like, I don't care anymore. I really don't. And so she goes backpacking, and then Abigail goes, I'll go with her. And I skip forward 10 seconds because I saw 27 minutes to go, and I skip forward 10 seconds. And they were still tracking through the jungle. And I skip forward another 10 seconds. And the music doesn't change, interestingly. If you skip forward 10 seconds, the music is perfectly synced. And it just goes, dun, 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 dun. And I skipped forward about 15 times. And nothing had changed. And then they climb to the top of a rock. And then the music's still going, dun, 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 dun. And then they get to the elevator. And I thought, right, we're at an elevator. They found out, and then it cuts back to the lady who can't talk, seeing the bloke selling the hats. And I thought, right. So the joke is that they've been doing all this nonsense, and they're on an actual populated island. Okay, cool. Very cool. Done that. And then skip forward 10 seconds. Skip forward another 10 seconds. Another 10 seconds. Still nothing had happened. And then all of a sudden it's like Abigail goes, I got to go pee. And I thought, right, she's going to try and kill Yaya. And ta-da! Because Abigail doesn't want to give up her power. And then the film ended. And I thought, oh, did I skip too far? And I skipped back 10 seconds. And it was like, no, I didn't. And I think that was my problem. I think I was expecting the film to try and be more subtle and say more about the targets it was skewering. So it goes, yeah, once the legs have been kicked out for the rich and the influencers, what have they got? Nothing. Right, fine. We've established that. And then for the next 45 minutes, we continue to establish that.
I think it did it better than Glass Onion, though.
Yeah, but that's because Glass Onion was deliberate, like a big, deliberate old comedy Clue style bloody thing. And I don't think you're wrong there. I think Glass Onion was a film that was fun as it went, but when you stop to think about it, you just go, oh, for fuck's sake, get over it. But I just think Triangle of Sadness was too far the other way. It was just kind of like, it might as well have just had 2 hours of going, rich are bad. Rich have no skills. Rich work off the backs of us workers. Over and over and over again.
Mm.
And you're like, yeah, fine. And then they turn that sign off. And then Abigail comes out and goes, you know nothing. I can fish. I can give you food. I can do this. I can do that. I'm now running the place. Oh, wow. The power has changed. It's like, yep. and then we had to have 45 minutes of Abigail basically punishing people for eating pretzel sticks and shagging Bertie McArguson, who himself really was not the progressive, forward-thinking feminist that he was portraying himself to be, but was generally, a bloke who was in for it for himself and would bang a hole in the ground if it gave him a box of fish at the end of the day.
You know what? You're not going to beat
on a first date,
walnuts, mate.
Sorry,
you're not going to beat Baldy McWalnuts. You're not going to beat that. Stop it.
No. What, with my names?
Yeah, Baldy McWalnuts is your peak.
Is my peak? Have I gone downhill from Grumpy McWalnuts?
Yeah, I'm afraid so. Yeah,
Grumpy Walnuts.
Grumpy? No, it was Baldy
Walnuts.
Was it
Baldy Walnuts?
Baldy Walnuts. Baldy McWalnuts. His Scottish cousin. Sorry, I interrupted Jim twice there.
Yeah,
My
it's okay.
apologies.
Jim was saying about banging a hole in the wall for the fish on a first date. So,
But it's human flotsam.
Yeah, exactly.
Talking about flotsam, when the wife washed up and the husband just was like, oh, the ring. Oh, the necklace.
The necklace.
Yeah, exactly. And again, it's funny, but it's also kind of like, it's right. It's not so much on nose as basically a big fucking clown nose. It's like, honk, honk, look how bad they are. It's like, yeah, all right.
But there was also, it had that moment of where it went too far, and it was, yeah, okay, these are bad people and they're doing bad things, and all they think about is their life that they're not leaving at the moment. But then you get bits where Carl is walking around trying to find, well, I don't even know what he's trying to find, but he's going through all these plastic bottles, and you think, okay, are they hitting us with like an environmental thing, or are they just hinting that this is like a the paradise, and then you have the behind the scenes stuff where no one really cares about? And that's what I got. But then you also have him finding the perfume bottle, which it was the photos that he was in at the very beginning of the film. He found that perfume bottle, didn't he?
Yeah. But also he was doing that thing which again was a big old sign about environmentalism. It's like, rather than clear all the shit up, rather than try and sift through it and see if there was stuff he could use, because he had bottles, he had bits of fabric there, he had wood, he had all
stuff
this stuff
he could use.
He could use. He sifted through it and dumped the fucking lot back in the sea because he found a bottle of cool water.
All of the important stuff that would have saved him and helped him there and then, i.e. Flopsam, Jepson, and like
salvage,
Tinder and stuff like that. Stuff I've learnt from The Long Dark, which you're not supposed to learn. But all this Tinder and wood, you're like, well, hang on, that's quite wasteful. You could use that to start a fire.
If I don't get an email from the fucking makers of The Long Dark and British Gas and we get sponsored by both, if we don't do that, then you and Darren have failed.
Yeah, we have.
Yep.
I send you out into the world to go and find sponsors, and you can't even come back with a good one. No,
I'll tell you who hasn't failed, though. Scott. He never fails.
Fucking hellfire. What about the bloke? What about the bloke in the shop?
He failed completely.
All right, okay.
I reckon that card actually did work. He just did it deliberately because my attitude,
like you.
Yeah, my attitude went shitty.
My friend, he doesn't like you. I don't
like you
either. You better watch yourself. We're wanted men.
Have you ever seen the Family Guy sketch where they translate that, the Walrus Man, what he's actually saying?
What, the one that, oh no, was it Chicken, Robot Chicken?
Where he's an architect.
What are you
doing, George?
Yeah,
why are you saying this?
He's an architect, isn't he?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Yeah. He loses his arm and he can't draw anymore.
That's it, yeah.
He threw my career. Hey, Panda, go down the cantina for a few power converters. Anyway, sorry, changing the subject. Anyway, I'm going to stop ragging on the film because everyone else liked it a lot more than I did. Anyone else got anything they'd like to bring up about it?
I wish he wouldn't stand in front of the lift doors like that. Fucking hell, that really, really pissed me off. That is just like a work observation, I'm afraid. But it's like,
holiday.
Get out the fucking way of them doors, you cunt.
Yeah. Okay. So what sort of issues is he creating by doing that?
Well, you could have a double journey Tyner trip, which is where the processor actually thinks the lock hasn't made.
Mm.
And so where it keeps reopening it could think of that as well.
Right.
You also could be popping the knuckle out of position as well. And recycling the doors like that is just never good.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that's
that.
That's interesting. Yeah. Okay. So there you go. So have you popped your knuckle out of position? Call now.
Okay. Everyone then. Where do you think the film should have ended? Should it finished on the boat with the explosion and that be it? That would have been a good film? Or was the island too much or what?
I think if the boat had blown up and we had that thing with Abigail at the start of being on the island, and she literally just fucking says, "I'm the ruler now. You're all my bitches. You got no power," and then does something hilariously comedic, like goes "Mwah, ha, 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 ha," and it just fades to black. I'd have been just as happy as if she found some magical fucking lift in a rock and then was going to brain everyone to keep its secrets.
Right.
But yeah, because at that point, the point had been made, I think, and had been made repeatedly. But that was just me. What about you? What about you, Dal? When do you think it should have ended?
I think it should have ended with just a bloke, just a large explosion.
The grenade.
And that's it, the grenade.
Mm.
Or even with just the two old people, with the grenade itself. And then just the last line is, Doreen, or whatever her name was.
Throw it overboard.
Yep. And it just going black completely.
Mm. What about you, Jim?
I think you should end with the last shot of the pirates, really. I mean, I did quite like the stuff on the island, but you need a proper end. You know what I mean? You needed that sort of last twist, that last, which, you didn't get, and that sort of undid a lot of the film in retrospect for me. Because kind of, when it was funny, it got very broadly funny, and you could have ended on something just big and stupid, you know what I mean, that gets that kind of nervous. I shouldn't be laughing at this because it's horrible, but it is bloody funny because these people are terrible. You know what I mean? So, I mean, if you can't end the third act, yeah, it has to go.
Yeah. What about you, Elton? Did you think it was perfect all the way through then?
I wouldn't say it's perfect all the way through, but I am a fan of programs where people get
their comeuppance.
Well, stranded on an island.
Oh yeah,
and play backgammon, and have mysteries.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. If it had finished with the pirates coming along, hand in the hand grenade and throwing it over, and all you hear is a poof off in the distance, I think that would have been brilliant. I'm very happy with the island stuff. I think that would have made like a nice short movie anyway. But
yeah,
I'm happy with it. I'm happy with the ambiguity at the end as well.
Yeah,
and the retwist of the class acts of Abigail dropping down the pegs and Yaya jumping up the pegs in that very last moment between them two. I thought that's really good because you know exactly what that means. Oh, I'll help you, and you think, oh, wicked. okay, this is good. And no, you haven't learned anything, have you? Stove her head in. Yeah, just get the brick and stove her head in. It'll be great. Don't worry about it.
Which leads me to the final question, I guess. What do you think happened next? Apart from Indiana argument, going for a run in the forest. I'm still trying to beat Grumpy Walnuts.
You are. You're not going to do it, mate.
I'm trying. Just let me try. Just let me hold on to that hope I can still do it.
All right. Whatever.
I personally think that she stoved her head in with that rock because she didn't want to lose that power. She had a taste of that power and she didn't want to lose it at all. Didn't want to go back to that life. And she would be comfortable robbing from the people that were on that island and keeping her family, her new family, alive because they wouldn't be able to do it without her.
Yeah, just ruling over them, going back to the secret lift, going up, taking some stuff, and playing both sides.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. What about you, Jim?
I think she stoved already.
Yeah.
But you see, that's the thing for me. If she does that, that's where it gets interesting. Because what happens? How long can you keep the resort a secret with the Hat Man wandering around?
Yeah. Yeah. He's the Hat
Do you
Man.
go after the Hat Man? You know,
I've already got a wife.
There's a whole fourth act there.
He's lucky he went up to Hodor, really, wasn't he?
Yeah, exactly. Hodor.
Hodor in a boat.
Oh, God. What about
There's
you?
a T-shirt. Hodor in a boat.
Hodor in a boat. Yeah. Hodor in a boat and the Hat Man. Hodor and the Hat Man. That's an 80s detective story,
It
isn't it?
is, isn't it?
Definitely.
Hodor.
What do you think,
Or a
Hodor?
Hanna-Barbera cartoon.
Yeah, exactly. Hodor and the Hat Man, a Quinn Martin production.
That's a Dr. Zeus thing, isn't it?
Is it?
I don't know. I'm just saying. Sorry.
Oh,
I'll
right.
shut
Sorry.
up. Cut that out. It's fine.
No, it's fine. It'll all stay in. It stays in it. It's too late to edit now.
I'm already imagining scenes from that TV program. Well, you know what we normally say in this situation, don't you, Hodor? Hodor. Yeah, that's right. Never rub another man's rhubarb.
Yeah, and then freeze. While the credits play.
Or is it?
Hodor!
An awful spelling production. There we go. Yeah.
What about you, Dad? What did you think happened with the lift and the rock? And the fact that Abigail didn't wash her hands.
I don't know. I would think, given given that she was having second thoughts about taking out Yaya, I think the straw that would break the camel's back is when she says to her, "I could make you my assistant." If I was Abigail, then that would have been my breaking point. And it's like, no, I'm sorry. There, have a rock hat.
Have a rock hat.
Yep.
Nice.
And that's a T-shirt.
Yep. So, like, have a good day. Have a rock hat.
Have a rock hat. Right. Well, I think we're into rock hat territory.
I think so.
Rock, paper, scissors, hat.
Yeah.
This has been a wonderful journey.
It has, hasn't it?
There's been a lot of ups and downs tonight. I'll be honest with you.
There's been tears. There's been laughter. Something for everyone, really.
Yeah, there's been Shaggy.
Wasn't me.
It's been a great rehearsal. Are you ready to do the real thing in a minute?
Oh, fuck me.
Oh, no, I never press record.
Yeah. Well, there I was trying to desperately download Ya Ya Ding Dong as well, just to sort of finish the whole thing off.
Yeah, ding dong.
Ya Ya, play Ya Ya Ding Dong.
Just quickly, has anyone seen The Square? Because I've seen the trailer of this a couple of times, and it keeps popping in and out of my radar.
No, I haven't. Though I hear that's more of a menu style, taking the piss out of the art world.
Okay.
I only know this through hearing reviews of Triangle of Sadness, that basically there's a sort of progressive chap who runs an art gallery, and then it turns out actually he's a complete douche canoe.
Right. Okay.
And yeah, and the only other bit I know is from the poster where he's got some. He's standing in the middle of a massive dining table, and everyone's looking terrified. And he's all sort of ripped, muscly dude, dancing on the table using crutches or something.
It's like the ape extensions.
Yeah, the
I
ape.
think he's doing like the ape impersonation, isn't he?
Yeah,
I'm guessing that's like an art piece in itself.
Yeah, which is apparently quite shocking. Apparently, but I have no idea. I'm not entirely sure after seeing this I would necessarily seek out the director's other stuff, because I think the phrase subtlety, it just doesn't feature in his repertoire. It's just there, and I'm not entirely sure I'm on board with it. I mean, I'm happy to be proved wrong, but I just right now I'm kind of a bit.
I wonder if we're going through the 20s where we'll look back and all the films are about millionaires and about the one percenters. We'll see a lot of movies about that.
Yeah, there's another one. The one I was trying to think of was with Jake Gyllenhaal, where he plays an art critic. And there was what was the other film with the art with artists?
There's another one with the modelling world.
Yeah.
Was it
Predator
Portler?
Oh right, Predator Portler. There was Neon Demon as well, which you absolutely hated. And then there was the other one was Sorry to Bother You. Do you remember that?
Oh God, yes, yeah.
With Lakeith Stanfield and the people with the horses' cocks. Yeah. And again, that was...
Didn't put that tagline on the poster, did they?
Yeah, Lakeith Stanfield and a man with a horse's cock. I mean, maybe they would have sold more tickets. I don't know. You never know until you try these things. But again, that was another 1%. Look how power corrupts as you move up the ladder, or the power shifts.
Mm-hmm.
It was the same deal, and again, that was a bit more surreal and out there, but. But, horses for courses. If you like it, you like it. I'm not going to judge you for this one. Unless you like Black Adam, Grumpy Walnuts, in which case you can go fuck yourself. But apart from that, everyone else's opinion is valid. Except for Grumpy Walnuts. Grumpy Walnuts can
Baldy Walnuts.
Baldy Walnuts. Baldy
Yes.
Grumpy Walnuts. Maybe I could collapse it all into one. Grumpy Baldy Walnuts. Baldy Grumpy Walnuts.
McGrumpnuts. There we go.
Grumpus the bald nut.
Yep.
I don't know. Grumpus bald nut. He's like Ernest Borgnine. Grumpus bald nut.
The little equivalent.
Yeah. Right. Anything else? Anyone got anything else they want to add?
Nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're all done. I think 11 minutes past midnight is probably enough. Right. Okay. Well, if anyone else has any thoughts on this film, by all means, keep them to yourself. No. Feel free to send us a message in. Send it into feedback@blackdogpodcast.com, or jump on the Facebook group, which is facebook.com/groups/the Black Dog Podcast, and leave us a message under the episode. Right. I think that's about it. The other thing is you can find Triangle of Sadness on Amazon Prime. The only other thing I was going to say was Triangle of Sadness. Apart from the little thing at the very, very beginning of the film, which is the crease in between your eyebrows, has that actually got any relevance to the plot whatsoever?
There was a love triangle. That's what I took from it.
Right. Okay, that's cool. It's cool. I just didn't know if I was missing something.
Film was in 3 parts.
They couldn't get the rights to the loneliest Dorotos.
Yeah.
The rhombus of despair was unavailable.
the sphere of perplexity. The Mobius
The pretzel of wank.
the pretzel of wank. yeah. The Mobius strip of finger banging. I don't know. So I think
Let's end it now. Come
end
on
it now. Pull out. Pull up.
Pull
Right.
out. Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Just
Stop it, Shaggy. Right. Okay. Well, let's leave it there then. So it's been a long night. So let's before we wrap it up for the evening or and head over to Pimp's Corner, let's find out what next week's film is. Now, next week's film is going to be picked by Mr. Jim Moon. Sir,
Yes, indeed.
What have we got? Hello. What have we got on the list for next week?
Well, I've not seen this film, so it might be payback for Moonfall. I don't know. But
If you say
I think
Black
the title
Adam-
alone sells it.
Okay, right, go on.
The Man Who Killed Hitler and Then the Bigfoot
oh yes.
with Sam Elliott.
The Man Who Killed Hitler, then
I've
Bigfoot.
heard of that.
Yeah.
The man. Oh God! Everyone jumps on Google. Hold on a sec. The man who killed Hitler and then Bigfoot. 2018. Okay. Legendary American war veteran Sam Elliott is recruited to hunt a mythical creature. That's all it tells me. Thanks very much for that, Google. Cheers, Google.
That's probably all you really need to know.
Yeah. Sam Elliott, Aidan Turner, Caitlin Fitzgerald. Okay. Fair enough. Right. Well, there you go. That sounds interesting. The Man Who Killed Hitler, then Bigfoot. Do you know
Where
what?
is that again?
That's on Amazon Prime.
It is indeed.
Well, you know what? As titles go, it's right up there with Cocaine Bear. And, you know, for literally laying on the table exactly what you're expecting. So, cool. Has anyone else seen this film?
Never.
Nope. I have heard of it though. But
Okay.
no.
I've only seen it. I've only seen it as a GIF thumbnail thing on Amazon Prime. And I've kind of skipped over it a couple of times thinking, nah, it can't be as good as it sounds. Because it sounds like one of those films that could just either be so crazy you just got to go, yeah, fine, I'm going with it, or it's gonna be they had a title, the movie. But we'll see. This is going to be interesting, I think, and we can all do our Sam Elliott. There are people out there who punch, and there are people out there who get punched. Right, cool. In which case, if none of us have seen it, it's going to be an interesting one next week. So, there you go. The Man Who Killed Hitler and Then Bigfoot. Available on Amazon Prime. Excellent, Jim. I'm looking forward to seeing this already. Right, so let's wrap it up then and head over to Pimp's Corner. And Jim, tell us what is going on over at Hypnagoria now.
Well, I've just reached a new chapter in my history of Universal horrors. Looking at a horror film serial, one of the few ever made, with Bela Lugosi and the giant robot. So.
Oh, right, okay.
Other than that, I released a spooky poem for St. Mark's Eve. And what else? Oh, yes, I've got a commentary club coming out on Earth versus the Spider.
Okay. Well, have fun with that one. How drunk were you by the end of that recording?
Not very. I'm not drinking much at the minute.
Oh, right. Okay. Oh, blimey, you're a braver man than I can be. That's a film and a half. Cool. Okay, then. And that's all over at hypnagoria.com.
It is indeed.
Brilliant. And over at Rogue 2, what's going on, Elton?
Very quiet there at the moment. Yeah, for various reasons, nothing's happening. So,
okay.
Yeah, we shall move on.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
But you can listen to all the old episodes of Shonky Lab and Flappy Paddles going around in circles, the podcast.
Grand Prix podcast.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can hear all that over at rogue2media.com.
That's right, yes.
And Darren.
Yes.
Which shop shall we find you with prepayment cards at?
Lamppost, and lamppost. You can find them on any street corner.
Hey, excellent. Thank you. And well, that's it then. You can find me here. That's about it. Well done. Congratulations, you found me. And that's it. So thank you very much for listening. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Darren. Thank you, Elton.
No problem.
And again, thank you all for listening. It's been a long one, but that's what happens when when members of the team have been away for a month, and we've been away for at least 2 weeks. So thank you for sticking with us and getting this far. If you have, if you haven't, fuck you. You can't hear it anyway. And we shall see you all next week for The Man Who Killed Hitler and Then Bigfoot. Until then, take care. We'll see you all soon. Tatty bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ta-da.
Posh fish.
Leave it, Darren.
There's a voice that keeps on calling me. Down the road, it's where I'll always be. Every stop I make a new friend. Can't stay for long, just turn around and I'm gone again. Maybe tomorrow I'll want to settle down. Until tomorrow, I'll just keep moving on.
Get out of the booth, Jack.
No, I like it in here.